the A and D event semifinals. For reasons which are lost to history, but we'll explain them later, we're actually going to be featuring one of the D semifinals. That is Team Dobbs from Potomac. Michael Dobbs, J.R. Groves, Chris Sun, and A.J. Oyer. They will be throwing the red stones. Against the W's, featuring Dr. Rick. They'll be throwing the yellow stones. They're from the Chesapeake Curling Club. Rick Bawala, and then a trio of Weisbergers. Craig Weisberger, Amanda Weisberger, and Dana Weisberger. We'll also be bringing you updates from the games on Sheet A and Sheet C, which are the semifinals in the A event. Nico versus Hefner on Sheet A. Kempenik, Gabe, this is important, versus Shaw, featuring his brother, and the A event semifinal over on C. And Finley versus Burkett in the other D semifinal over on D. This is Alan McNeil. I'll be doing your play-by-play at a much slower pace than this as the game gets going, I promise. Sitting to my right, working our console and doing color commentator is the one, the only Michael Sell.
Yes.
And Joe Rockenbach, or Tony Takayasha, is doing our intrepid sideline reporting, keeping us up to date on the other three games.
Hiya.
They are finishing the nip. They're doing the shakes. We'll be getting this game underway in just a moment. We got the color, but we didn't get who actually got the hammer.
Yeah, I suspect we'll just wait and see.
Well, I'm seeing a yellow person
I
in
would
the
say
hack,
that red has
so
the hammer
red
then.
must have hammer. Okay.
Perfect. I'm
You guessed
preset.
right.
I've already got it set. There's your scoreboard. But that's not what I meant by scoreboard.
All right. So
that's
the first
what I meant by
stone of the
scoreboard.
game is underway. That is being thrown by Dana Weisgerber. I'm sorry. I'm going to miss that up 75 times today. I swear it. From the Rick Kala W's featuring Dr. Rick team. Hey, by the way, we got live chat on this live stream. You got anything to say? You want to insult me? It's all good. I just got knocked out. I'm in a good mood. Go ahead and type it in the chat box. We'll answer questions all the time. We'll also be providing those updates on other sheets, so let us know what you want to know. All right, that stone came up as a hog, unfortunately. The ice has been kind of slow today, probably because of the extreme temperature in the ice shed.
Oh, it's a balmy 47
it's a balmy
degrees.
47 degrees
Yeah,
in the
it's
ice shed at the moment.
80 degrees outside this afternoon.
I felt like I actually cracked a sweat nipping the ice today for the afternoon draw.
I know I cracked a sweat being a skip, and I was being a skip.
Yeah, no sleeping.
All right, so A.J. Oyer's first stone is on the way. He was asked to provide a 3-guard on the side, on the corner, and I dare say that's what he's given him.
Also, for those of you listening, you're hearing something maybe a little bit unusual. Normally, for our feature games, we try to get a microphone on each skip. Michael Dobbs is wearing one. Rick Balala is not, though, and so the second on-ice microphone is actually being worn by A.J. Oyer, the lead. So all of your on-ice commentary is going to come from Team Dobbs, as well as whatever just the ambient house mics pick up.
All right, and if you're hearing noise in the background, they're announcing the winners of the silent raffles and all of that kind of thing, or the silent auctions and raffles and that kind of thing. And it's Saturday evening, so, you know, drinking is occurring.
Yeah, if you've ever been to a Bonspiel, then you know that Saturday night is just when things happen.
Exactly.
Shouldn't be any karaoke, though, like there was during the Embassy
God,
Row.
I hope not. Dana Weisberger's second stone came into the top 8 foot over on the right side of the house as you are staring at the game, at the sheet, actually, as it is at the moment. For those of you who are not familiar with our Saturday night broadcasts, we are showing the D event semis, not the B. Not the A semifinals. The reason for that is because the A semifinals, the teams that win are going to be on the feature sheet tomorrow afternoon anyhow. So we might as well, so we're showing a game that's not on Sheet B, or that's on Sheet B that's not in the A event, just to, you know, spread it out a little bit, let everybody be seen, because everybody's got family.
Right. And also, as you pointed out, the winners of those A event games play on Sheet B, and so because of that, they're not playing on Sheet B now.
Right.
And it's just always easier to cover the game directly under the cameras than it is one of the side games. We can and will, should the game on B end early, do provide bonus coverage by way of turning the cameras to wherever the chat room wants it to go.
So that stone, which was the first stone by Amanda Weisberger, the W's featuring Dr. Rick's second, kind of did a nice little chip of the red guard and rolled into the house. Dobbs is currently sitting 1 just left of the center line in the top 8 foot, just not quite touching the 4. There are 2 yellow stones in the play on the right side, in the house rather, on the right side. 1 straddling the 8, and 1 just hanging on the back. And it may not even actually be in the house now that I'm looking at it. It's close. I can't tell for sure. And yes, TJ, that's absolutely true. Folks have not had enough beer yet. Dobbs was asking for a hit from the outside. It didn't happen. Stone went by outside. It did not quite get out of play. It's over in the penalty box, the area outside behind the house, but still in play. So currently Dobbs is sitting 1. The W's are sitting 2 and 3, or 2 and maybe 3.
And let me just pause to express appreciation for referring to that area as the penalty box. That's what I call it, and I think more people should.
I'm gonna third that. I think that is an excellent way to call
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Because it's in the game, it's just not allowed,
It's not allowed to do anything.
Not allowed to do anything.
It's a wonderful, wonderful jargon there.
All right, and this looks like, yep, this is going to be a nice clean takeout, assuming that it's got enough to get it out. Yes, it does. Nicely executed takeout by Amanda Weisberger to have the W's sitting at least 2. I can't guarantee that Stone in the bag's not in, to be honest with you. I'm looking at it. Our cameras are not perfectly sharp. I think there's white between, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well, now a skip just stood on top of it, so now I really can't tell you.
Yeah,
what it's doing,
exactly.
but
Now it's covered by Dobbs' rear end.
that's just how it goes
That's
sometimes.
just how it goes sometimes. And Dobbs had, I think was that JR's second or was that Chris? I didn't see you through that.
Yeah, I didn't either, actually.
But throw the stone. He chipped out one of the W's yellows and then rolled out of play. So
Yellow's throwing first, and this is their first vice stone, so that must have been Chris's second.
Must have been Chris's. You're absolutely correct.
That is correct.
Wonderful logic.
I'm not amazing at this job yet, but I can still count to 8.
Doing better than me right now. You got to, yeah. All right, so then that means that this is Craig Weisberger, the vice, the third of the Weisberger trio, throwing his first stone. I believe Rick asked him to just kind of bring something in, kind of like top 12-ish or a 3-guard up top. And it looks like that's about what's going to be delivered. I don't think it's quite as deep as he wanted, but it's at least, it's in play, it's on the center line. It's a usable stone.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. As the sideline reporter, who's the one who provides a lot of the fluff pieces for the game, short
Right.
little things, what do you guys think of the glowing shoes that the team from Four Seasons had brought?
Let me put it this way. I'm buying new curling shoes next year, and if mine are not at least that garish, I've done something wrong.
I like the way you think, Alan, and I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, J.R. Groh's first stone is on the way. He was asked to do a nice straight nose take, and that's precisely what he did.
5 out of 5.
So that's exactly what he was asked for. Dobbs is currently sitting 1. There might be a W stone in the back of the house. There also might not be. We don't know. And I don't really think they know either, to be honest. Craig
See, now I kind of want to go get those sneakers with the lights in them and make those into curling shoes.
Oh,
just to
absolutely.
try to top that.
You
Oh, that's
didn't see that?
that's actually what they got.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's just the
Yeah.
well, I
Good
can't.
morning. Welcome to the game. How are you?
Well, I just saw the neon running shoes that turned into curling shoes, and
And okay, we're taking care. No, we're not. Never mind. I thought we were taking care of the stone at the penalty box, but no. We either have a completely clear house or a stone biting the back of the 12-foot. One of the two. As Dobbs prepares to throw. No, I'm sorry. JR is throwing his second stone.
all right. There we go. A little hiccup in the far camera there. There's a live shot for you.
All right.
Wait to be
JR's
on
stone
there.
is on the way. Dobbs asked him to draw behind the 3-guard on the center.
Top house.
that looks-
I don't
Need
think
to
this
go.
has. This doesn't feel like it has the distance to me. I don't know. Sweepers are on it hard, that's for sure. No, actually, it's got the
Fine.
distance. Okay, I'm wrong. It did not get fully buried, though. It is straddling the center line, and the guard is just off to the left of the center line. So the stone is full 8, probably 50% exposed. Yeah, definitely 50% exposed. And Rick Balala, the W skip. Need a better term than that, but yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out as we move along. Is practically trotting with glee down to the hack with the prospect of taking this stone out.
I'd expect nothing less from Dr. Vic.
Exactly.
He plays with the enthusiasm of a curler who just loves his damn game.
Exactly.
Other unrelated piece, I just received a couple of pieces of homemade sausage from one of the members of the C event winner on this past sheet, Arthur Hewer.
Oh.
And I'm going to mute my mic and eat it.
Okay then. You do that.
Oh, if I remember correctly, that's probably deer sausage. Because I think he made some deer burgers one year for one of our Bonspiels, maybe some venison jerky or something.
Could be.
It is delicious. Absolutely delicious.
All right, so Rick Balala looking for the kind of like the heavyweight draw, tap backy kind of thing. Sweepers are on it hard because it feels to me like he might have pinched the line. If he gets past the guard, he's probably got it. Well, maybe.
Definitely by the guard at this point.
Yeah, never mind the whole by the guard thing. He's also by the target stone. Well, he tapped it over slightly, and hey, we now know that we no longer have a stone in the back, 12 foot. So that question's been resolved.
Now we have a trio in the penalty box, potentially.
Must have been a heck of a fight.
It must have been a heck of a fight. Another important thing to note is that chipped Dobbs' stone over, so it is now perfectly behind the guard.
Okay, no, I guess the one was actually out because now there's only two back there.
Just two tripping hazards back there. That's what
Yeah, exactly. That's all that is insurance settlements waiting to occur.
The one person who forgot to sign the waiver is going to trip over that thing.
Yeah,
right?
I know. All right, Michael Dobbs is coming up. I'm not at all certain what the decision is.
Not super slow, though.
He's got the broom on the center line. He's calling for an out turn. Yes.
I was say, it looks like a draw.
Looks like a draw to the other side.
Where?
To where, I guess, I don't know. I guess we'll find out, won't we?
We'll know in about 20 seconds. Because he didn't even talk about it loud enough for us to hear it on his mic, unfortunately.
I don't mind back house at all.
Okay, he doesn't mind back house. He just said that.
At all.
At all. Sweepers are on it with a passion. Possibly with a brush. Either way.
He's not going to get back house.
No, but
but if he gets level,
bite,
no, not quite level.
Okay. It is in. He's got that going for it.
Yeah, coming out.
I don't know. Does it feel double?
Ooh, it's a risky double.
It is a
I
risky
mean,
double.
if he kicks the field goal, then it's going to be an easy draw for 3. So I would be happy to take an open hit and just give up the deuce.
Or take the hit and
Take
roll
the roll
inside a little bit.
Yeah.
And judging from the foot movement that I saw, that's kind of what Rick's got in mind, I think. Because he kind of did the rocket kick move over towards the center line stone. So I'm guessing that's what he's got planned. I don't actually know that for certain, though. He is pulling the in-turn. He's got a broom. He's got the broom set 8 inches outside Michael Dobbs' stone in the top 12.
Is he going to play a corner freeze on that?
No. This is
he going to go across the face?
This is a cross-face hit,
Yeah.
try to roll the inside.
Okay.
There's
Yeah,
no
I
question
think it's
there.
just a matter of this way with this ice. If it over curls, he's still going to hit the inside. If it
Yeah.
hangs wide, he'll catch the outside.
And
he's hanging
he's a little wide of it at the moment. Okay, it's coming back now.
coming back. He's gonna get
He hasn't
something.
crossed face yet. He's got the nose. He's got actually just outside nose.
That's actually a pretty good spot
That's a fine spot.
because it makes that draw on that side tricky.
Yep.
If you hit it, you're not going to be shot on
Yeah,
that side.
but,
So
but
Michael Dobbs is
it's
just going to
the
have to draw the
hammer,
other
so
side.
Yeah, so it's a clean draw for 2 for Michael Dobbs' team.
But this is Michael's strong point. He's a very nice finesse player, good drawer.
Yeah.
So
it does make him change the line. So if he thought he knew the ice because he had just done the other way, he does have to throw it away. He hasn't yet.
Yep.
But draw to touch paint should be well into Skip's repertoire.
Yeah. One would think by the time
One
you're
would
in
think.
a event semifinal, you should be throwing at least accurately drawing to the paint. Although he's got a sweeper on him pretty quick, pretty hard, and he is out in the stuff that hasn't really been thrown on. It is a little frosty.
they got it.
I think they're getting there.
Nice.
Feels
Yeah,
like
now this is just Skip. Sweeper's just. Oh, maybe not.
Yes, he did.
Money in the bank. Nice
Yep.
shot there,
It's
Michael.
not so much into a
All
liar
right,
as
Michael
much as he
Dobbs takes his
potentially just
2.
sat there and didn't
To
swing
go up?
it.
Yeah.
2-0.
Got all the weight that it needed to have, and not a bit more.
Exactly.
And nice fist bump from his opponent.
All right.
Spirit of curling, gentlemen. Spirit of curling.
So Nico is yellow on A. Just confirmed that, judging from the fact that Nico is written on the back of the guy who just throwing Yellowstone.
2-3. Whoa.
And one of the Kempeniks just throwing a redstone. The the Kempenich deck.
So Kempenich is red on C, and Shaw is throwing Yellowstone.
Correct. Okay, and do we have anything on Finley versus Burkett?
Columbus,
Burkett
is red. Yep.
Okay. So now we know who's who. Correct.
And once they post the scores, we will let you all know.
We are slightly ahead of the other games as the first stone of the second end is underway. From Michael Dobbs' lead, A.J. Oyer. And Dobbs asked for a center 3 guard. It's not coming back enough to be a center 3 guard. It actually went very, very, very straight for a guard weight shot. Although actually it drew into full, is that full 12 foot? Yes, it is full 12 foot.
Yeah, I think on that, because the line was just never cooperating, the call was just sweep it as far as you can. It's not going to be a center guard, so you may as well just put it in the house somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So
not an uncommon call for Michael Dobbs on the lead.
Not the slightest. So Dana Weisgerber throwing his first stone of the second end. I'm sorry, her first stone of the second end. And executing a nice straight slightly
hit.
outside nose takeout. Rolled out to still full 12 foot out. Dobbs asking, no, Dobbs changing his mind.
Okay.
For a second I thought Dobbs was going to hit.
Yeah, he called it, but
Yep.
I guess he's
like,
deciding he's going to go back to
easy to
basics here and just cover the center.
Do his thing. Yep. So A.J. Oyer's second stone on its way. Nice clean release. I believe Dobbs just said he thought it was a little wide. Or I'm hearing crosstalk from the game.
Pretty wide again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wide. It looks like it might. It's going to just kind of tap that yellow. Actually, it's past the yellow. It's rolling into the house. It's back 8. It takes over shot. It's completely open though, so it's not really a problem. And Rick spends absolutely no time thinking about it. Asks for Dana to take it out.
You guys swept that last
Looking
throw.
for about
2
2 feet of stone, 2 feet ice.
You melted that path.
Dana's stone is on the way. Sweepers got on it immediately. It's already come off the center line.
They're doing a nice job holding that line, though.
They are holding the line.
Yeah.
They're going to get
I
it.
think they got
Yep,
to the
they're
nose.
all
Yep,
over
they
it.
got to a nose. Perfect nose hit takeout.
Lovely, lovely brush in there.
So currently Rick is sitting 2.
Double.
And all of the other games are coming down to their last skip stones, I believe, in the first end. So we have no other scores to report.
Once they hang them, we'll let you know.
Exactly. Chris Sun's first stone of the second end is on the way. Dobbs asked him to hit a takeout. It's going to take out, but I think it's going to roll to the inside, so never mind, it's a nose. I'm not sitting directly on the middle of the sheet, so it looked a little off to me. It looked inside, it wasn't. It was a perfect nose. Everything is great.
From the line you're calling, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, my line was good. This explains why I just got eliminated in the C event quarters. Because I thought that was hitting the inside of the stone.
I will say, though, Alan, you guys were really clawing back in that 8th end. You had a really nice shot with your first rock.
Yeah,
That was a nice hit.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, the second shot we didn't give it enough ice, and oh well. It's all right. I didn't want to play 3 games tomorrow anyhow. Because I got a league game at 7:15.
Second man is going to play a nice hit here as well.
Dr. Rick, yep. Basically, we're just playing nose hit a palooza over here on the left side, right side on your guys' screen.
Oh, Doctor, we've got a scoring update on Sheet A.
Yes.
The Hefner rink from Plainfield and Chesapeake has put up a steal of 4.
A steal of 4. Well,
Against
that's
Nico from 4 Seasons.
That's a nice way to start a game. That makes it a lot easier to play.
Yeah, that gives you some stones to mess around with if you need to.
Normal.
Or
And this one is not going to get all the way out to the nose.
Oh, it's probably going
So it's going to roll over to Dobbs had his second. Chris got the hit, rolled to the other side of the sheet. It is shot full 12 over on the, it's behind the tee, well behind the tee, but it's sitting full 12. Looks like Rick just kind of asked to kind of draw in front of it.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. I mean, it's wide open to hit, sit 2 across the house from each other, which would also be pretty good. But at this point, just trading singles, you know, he's just looking to maybe change the game plan a little bit here.
But it's a little heavy. Just rubbed. And Michael Dobbs was able to sweep it past. Dobbs' stone is still shot, I'm virtually certain.
You hit a nice note on the end of the heavy there, Alan. It was pretty nice.
Huh?
When you're going heavy, you hit a pretty nice ring to it.
I have done this professionally.
Oh, Doctor, we've got a scoring update on Sheet C.
Yes!
It appears that the Kempenich rink stole one in end number 1, which is going to put them up 1-0 against Team Shaw. This
With
is
a Kempenich.
Yeah, with a Kempenich, yes. Kempenich Gabe.
Control up.
No, Kempenich Gilad. My apologies.
Make up your
Kempenich
mind.
Gilad.
Yes, Kempenich G.
This is
Kempenich G.
This is an A-event semifinal. So winner of this game is going to the finals.
Dobbs.
Losers got 2 games tomorrow.
Dobbs had JR take out the W's stone up in the top 12, rolled over to the other side of the sheet. Dobbs is currently sitting 2. The W's do have the hammer, and it looks like Rick is planning on doing something about those stone that was just thrown. The risk here being if he hits it straight back, he jams on his yellow, which would be a problem.
Yeah, that's definitely not what he's looking to do here.
Now, he wants to definitely chip this out one angle or the other. A nose hit would be horrible. At the moment, I got to be honest, it feels like this might slip all the way past. This would be Craig Weisberger's first stone, and it did, in fact, flash all the way past. Just a clean miss. Dobbs is still sitting as 2, and he's asking JR to put his second stone as a 3-guard in front of what is currently the shot stone. I don't think he'd mind if it came in and froze, but he doesn't want anything. He doesn't want to do much more than that.
As that rock makes its way down the sheet, got a scoring update on Sheet D.
And what happened on Sheet D?
Don Finley's rink from Potomac has gotten a deuce in the first end. They're up 2-0 against the Burkett rink from Columbus.
Excellent. All right, so all of our games are in the second end.
Wicket, maybe?
And this stone from J.R. Gross is on its way. It's a little heavy for a guard. It's going to slide past the shot stone, and it's going to just nudge the corner. No, it didn't even nudge the corner, but it did stop short of it. So right now, Dobbs lies in a position to steal 3.
And it's another catcher for that shot stone.
Exactly.
For another angle that Rick can't use to move it out.
Yeah, exactly. And at the moment, Rick's going to have a hard time keeping his shooter in play, taking that red stone out. So Craig Weisberger's second stone is on the way. Rick did ask him to chip that red out.
It's heading that direction.
It still feels like it's not quite there.
Oh,
Ooh,
just the tiniest little row.
Barely.
But not enough to do anything significant. It kissed the stone off. It did take out one of Dobbs' stones in the back on the way out, but Dobbs is still lying too.
I gave JR the wrong stone, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I gave him that one. I gave him the first one. Yeah, I think so.
Michael Dobbs,
Just don't tell Dobbs. He won't know this.
the champion of the Embassy Robot Spiel at the beginning of the season, is coming down to get ready to throw his first stone of this second end. JR's got a broom down for what looks like it's going to be an attempt for the guard that Dobbs asked JR to throw previously. It was a little heavy. Let's see what happens here. Stone is on the way. Nice clean slide, nice handle release. Sweepers aren't touching it at all. Okay, now we got some cleaning happening. Not any serious sweeping yet, just a little clean.
Yeah, I think they wanted to stretch out a bit, but they also needed to curl over more, so they're kind of stuck in between here.
So it's not going to completely cover. It is a 3-guard. It's covering the inner half of that stone.
Unfortunately, the inner half was the side that they were pretty safe with because of the rocks behind it.
Yeah. So that's a lot of
ice.
That's a lot of ice.
Yeah, I think we're all thinking
They
that.
wanted us to sweep.
So Rick has got his vice.
He was like,
Craig Weisberger setting a broom out about 4 inches into the 12-foot.
Is he thinking about coming across it with light hit and going behind that center, that guard off the right side of the center line?
That would be asking for a jam, in my opinion.
I concur.
I think he's just trying to make sure that he hits the outer half here, expecting it to curl more on the outer half of the sheet. I do start to have concerns of this flashing on the outside, just like the first two flashed on the
If
inside.
he puts a lot of, if he puts regular hit weight on it, it's
I'd bring
absolutely
the broom a
good.
good 6 inches in from this, honestly.
Yeah, I understand needing to take a little more ice, but I think he's taking a lot more than he needs. But
Yeah.
Unless he's just trying to throw like a backline weight tap or something, although that doesn't make any sense in my opinion. No, E3, that's a full hit weight.
That's a
no
full hit
question
weight.
there. And in my opinion, he has flipped that out. There's no way this is coming back. This is probably actually going to hit the red-yellow combo in the back of the 12-foot and jam Dobbs Stone onto Rick Stone. Rick Shooter also shoots out. Yep, that pretty much counts as a disaster. As Dobbs now sits 2 with the inner half of the shot stone already covered. I'm not sure why he's not guarding the other half of it, to be honest. But he's looking like he's talking about drawing to the top 8, which is also a viable plan, really.
yeah, because even with the stones where they are, Rick still has the whole 4-foot to draw into, which is a good force, regardless.
Yes.
But now, if you can also eliminate any part of that draw,
You're going here?
you're making it at least a challenging force as well.
True statement.
And you draw, that draw just becomes against even more points.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a power in making somebody draw against 2 that's not there against draw against 1.
Because that cuts the
So,
draw path more? He's not
And
going to want
it-
to squeeze through those.
Potentially against 3.
no, that's well short. The guard, the top guard is well short. Oh, well,
Well,
yeah,
right, but if he
three-
puts
yeah,
this one
you're
in,
right.
it
You're
would
right. I didn't see the one in the back 12 feet because Craig had me screened.
Right, yes. Because I'm looking at it on the screen. I have the angle from the front instead
Yeah.
of from the back.
Whereas
I actually have no idea. I actually can't see the sheets because of the monitor in front of me. So only looking at the screen.
No, it's not light. 4-5.
It's not light being
It's not
sweeper
light.
code for it's heavy.
3-4.
Now they're calling it as a 3-4, which actually would be light.
Make up your mind, AJ.
Oh, Chris pounding it in there. There we go. That's going to be a
It is
4-5.
actually
4-5.
a full 5, actually.
Not too
Never mind the
shabby.
4-5.
So it wasn't
so-
light.
And actually, it's in a beautiful way. It's in a beautiful place because a nose hit on that would not be shot.
Yeah, it blocks the button.
Blocks the
Rick
button.
doesn't have to get to the button, but it
blocks
blocks
the
the
draw. Blocks a lot of things, honestly.
button. Yeah. Rick almost either has to kind of clean draw through a couple of ports.
Or hit the inside and roll over. I think that's what he's calling.
Yeah, that
I
works.
saw him look at his. He was using his foot to figure out where if he hit the inside of that one that was just thrown, and it'll just kick to the inside and says shot. I
Yeah,
think that's what he's
that's-
going to do.
That
That's
looks
a
like
pretty
that's
good
the
plan.
plan. Yep. It's a tough play. It's a tough shot either way, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, any shot for one here actually ends up being tricky.
Yeah.
If he tries to hit on the shot stone around the outside, you have to make sure you don't roll out at all.
He has to be careful he doesn't throw wide because a wide could end up jamming on that card and presenting a fourth shot. Stone is on the way. It's got a lot of rotation. Actually, I guess it's not really that much. It's coming across now. It hasn't gotten to the okay. It's gonna make the contact with the top one. Roll towards that.
That's a peach.
That's
Look at
lovely.
that, a double and under the guard. If they had more rocks to
Wow.
throw, that would be spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean, it's spectacular anyway, but
Nice shot by Rick Bawala to save himself
To
for,
save himself,
for
yeah.
one.
double for one that actually could have set himself up for a 2 or 3 if that wasn't the hammer.
Except that was the hammer. So the score after 2 is Dobbs 2. The W is featuring Dr. Rick 1. Do we know what Dr. Rick's a doctor of, by any chance?
I do.
Oh, what's Dr. Rick a doctor of?
He was a gynecologist.
Oh,
Yes.
When is it?
so an actual doctor.
An actual doctor.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's supposed to be supportive. She's too busy.
So Dana Weisberger's first stone of the third end is on
Yeah,
its way.
it's terrible.
She was
That's
asked
why
to
she's
provide
playing
a
it.
center guard. This looks heavy for a center guard, in my opinion. Also in the sweeper's opinion, as they are strolling with it rather casually, if I may say so.
2, 3.
Yeah, it is coming back to the center line.
It's gonna
but
be
top
check
four
down
button.
quite
It
a
would
bit.
be a respectable last shot draw stone, that's for certain.
Ooh, that's for sure.
But
Or a boxable.
this, if,
Yeah,
there, if,
that
there was,
is-
if there was a box would have just been claimed. We didn't do box during this, did we?
We did not.
No, we usually only do that during the big spiel.
Yeah, that's true. So AJ's first stone is on its
JR if you
way.
can.
Dobbs was asking for a corner guard, and I dare say that's what he's getting.
Ooh, Mike. Yep. Nope.
Yep.
Slowed down nice at the end.
Yep, 3-guard guarding
no,
the
it's still
outer
good.
half of the 8-foot. Nothing wrong with that stone at all.
No, maybe a little tight for a corner guard if I had to say something wrong with that stone. But it's in the guard zone, and it's covering the side, which is
Exactly.
pretty much where you want to be as the hammer.
Yeah. So Dana's second stone on its way. Rick asked her to guard the one that's on the, basically on, for all intents and purposes, on the button at the moment.
Oh, yes, actually, not just for all intents and purposes, but actually literally is
Yeah.
covering the pin.
Yeah, no, you can see the pin.
Oh,
well,
okay. I can't.
Barely. I can.
That's not going to happen.
And, you know, if I had to describe that stone, guard would be the word I would use. It's just on the center line in front of this stone. It's precisely where it was asked to be. So, and we're still in free guard zone rules. So Dobbs trying to draw around on the intern.
Yeah, I think it's a come around with the plan B of being the tick, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, then hard press.
So the lead calling for the sweep, but
And the second not listening at all.
the skip not agreeing, apparently.
Nobody agrees with, and not agreeing was the correct decision. Because this bad boy is through the house, or at least it's going, yes, it's through the house. Once Dr. Rick put a little bit of special sauce on it, it went through the house, and so yeah.
Just pinched my intern.
Not sure why
Finish
Dr.
my
Rick would have special
Fourth one
sauce.
this weekend.
I like it. I'm trying to just leave that on the table.
I think, yeah, let's move on.
We're not in a late enough draw to start
yeah, we
going
gotta
there
wait till
yet.
10 o'clock to do that.
So, Amanda Weisberger, the second for the W's featuring Dr. Rick, prepares to throw her first stone of the third end.
I was surprised actually with that.
Calls
I
for a
would've gone
guard,
just
yes?
Draw, maybe like freeze to it. Because then you can just have Chris come take it out right now and make it open.
Draws past the guard. If it comes over, this
pretty
is going
nice
to be
draw.
beautiful.
That's a
That
feature.
is
How heavy can you throw?
nice. That is
How heavy
that's
can
in
you
the
throw and
line.
make the broom?
It's not completely buried. Full
Yeah,
12 foot.
that's-
Basically, he's got 3 stones pretty much in a row.
hoping for
And
the
on the
no
plus
triple.
side, for Michael Dobbs' point of view at least,
The free guard zone
zone's
rule is
off.
not in play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Let's hit something.
Let's hit something. Well, we're watching Chris Sun's first stone of this end. Dobbs is asking him to chip out the guard. I think he's nosing it.
Nose is going to help,
Which
though.
actually
Yeah, there you
works
go.
well because
Sexy
one
double.
and
two.
That's a double.
Yeah, so I mean, the only real
Although-
problem there is leaving the stone over
Yeah.
the shot rock, but you went from 3 yellows to 1 yellow.
That's
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 an
improvement. Yes.
But
And you can always play with your own stone while it's up there. So they've got a run back or a peel or a split or
They got,
any
yeah, they got
number
all
of
kinds of options to play there. So Amanda Weisberger's second
why
stone
he was looking to just do the single peel.
is on the way.
Like you got to at least try for a double there. Because otherwise we just get back and forth trading and peeling with them sitting too.
Trading and peeling. Sounds like a really lousy comedy team.
There you go. Bounce out
Amanda's
a bit.
second stone draws in, kissing the button.
What a beaut. Again.
Yellow just deciding, you know what, let's just dispense
back.
with the whole rest of the sheet and
Yeah.
only use the 4 feet in the center
Yeah.
because they don't need any of the rest of
We
it.
don't need, yeah. What the hell with this guard stuff? Just load up the
If
pit.
you just put all the rocks on the
Load
button,
up
you
the-
can't
yeah,
lose,
you
right?
can't
Lose, no.
There is just enough separation, although there's no way Dobbs can get there with,
And then
or
if you
Chris can get there
peel,
with
you're
enough
still in
force
the
to
same
do
situation.
anything.
The only way to do that would
So-
be with the run back the guard. So
Which,
I'm
you know,
guessing
is
it's
a thing, but
guessing this is just a tick or a
I'm
peel or
assuming
something on the
I'm
guard.
assuming that this wants to be a peel, although it's yeah, it's a peel. This stone is a peel. Well, it's a tick.
It's a tick.
It wanted to be a peel, but it didn't quite get enough to be a peel. It didn't have much appeal.
Well,
so
at this rate, we'll just have
thought I'd get his
tick,
friend did, but
draw,
he said
tick,
us.
draw, and Michael will set up for a pentuple for one.
a pentuple for one. I've seen a pentuple for
You
one.
have?
I have. I actually tried one once. It didn't go well.
Oh, my.
It's not like we were.
I did cut him down to two.
So you made a triple. That's still pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
pretty good. That's
yeah,
still
good
pretty
news.
good.
You made the triple. Bad news. They stole two. Craig Weisberger's first stone on its way. Rick asking to reestablish some guard action.
He's
or
asking for a
possibly
guard.
just
I think
draw
he's
into
going to
the
get
button.
somehow a third rock on the putt.
Because that's how this end is working for these guys. But yes, you're absolutely right. It's going to create. It's creating a.
How much weight can
You guys think they got that line figured out? I don't know.
I think they know how to draw to the button on that line.
Yeah.
So I will say that the third rock is not on the button, only because there were too many rocks already on the button.
Yeah, exactly.
They've run out of buttons,
And
basically.
actually, there is space. It's not a hard freeze.
No.
So if JR throws man weight, he could conceivably spill everything.
And by man weight, you basically mean
What he's
with,
throwing.
with about the weight of a man. Yeah, not just
Yeah.
because women can throw this weight too, but
Yes. But
he's hit his own guard.
and it's an extremely aggressive. What is
He just
that?
subbed it at the end.
Peel.
Yes, peel. Good word. It's an extremely hard peel, leaving Rick lying 3.
Is anyone else rooting for another draw instead of a guard? Because I am. I don't know.
Honestly, if I was Rick, I would do that.
Yeah, let's
because
see the
it's
pentuple.
really hard to move 4 stones.
Yes.
Especially when they're all frozen to each other.
Right, that's
in
what
a
I'm
line.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And actually, the way that they're covered,
This one's hanging a little bit wider. This one might catch that little bit of button that's sticking out on the left side.
No, it ain't going to cut over that much. It's actually,
it's pretty-
I don't even
it's
think it
gonna
gets
clip on
past
that
that
guard.
top
That
guard. I think it chips that top guard in slightly. Unless it makes a little bit of contact and rolls to the inside. Now it didn't even get 2 contact. So that doesn't stop much of nothing. So, hey, how do you feel about watching 126 pounds of granite move?
You know,
Groovy, man.
Huh?
Pretty groovy, man.
Pretty groovy.
I'm on board now.
And the stone is on its way. My wife is giving me grief for calling the previous shot man weight. But, you know.
Good sweep. Good sweep.
Okay, we got contact, and yep, that's pretty much about what was going to happen.
Yep.
The first
Yep.
stone hit the second stone, hit the third stone. The first and second stone stayed there. Third stone did go bye-bye.
Yeah, I wasn't
So-
expecting those to just dead jam as much as they did. There was just no like side-to-side
action.
movement at
No,
all.
nothing moving. Just bam, bam, bam.
To Dobbs' benefit, the redstone did roll over sort of undercover, so it narrows the scoring zone down
Send one out.
to only the 4-foot circle, which
Yeah, but
Rick Bilala
we've-
has had no
we've
trouble putting
shown-
5 or 6 rocks
yeah,
into
we've
at this
shown
point.
that-
So.
It is mathematically possible to actually put all 8 stones into the 4-foot circle. Did you know that?
We do now, and I like
think
that.
I probably
like that
could
little
have
piece of
guessed, but
trivia.
I
like
wasn't
that.
aware of it. But
You can do it.
Huh.
It's never actually been done in play that anybody's aware of, but it can occur. If anybody could pull it off, it would be Rick. Although I do have to point out for the record, he hasn't thrown any of these stones that are in the 4-foot. He is preparing to throw his first one, and his vice is holding a line as though the plan is to draw into the button. Stone is on its way. His front end, Amanda and Dana of the Weisgerbers rather, are putting brooms to it, and now they're up, and this is going to be a guard, which is probably actually what they're asking for because they're not panicking about it. And it's a guard on the center line, and that actually it's not technically a guard. It is touching the 12-foot, but it's guard.
yeah, it is guarding the 2 shots.
It is guarding the 2 shots. Hey, we got any second end scores by any chance?
We
Tony?
absolutely do. Let's go over to Sheet A. This is an A event semifinal. The rink from Plainfield and Chesapeake, skipped by Link Hefner, has stolen one in the second. They're up 5-0 against Nico from Four Seasons. And then we have a steal of 1 as well on sheet D for Dawn Finley. They're up 3-0 against Team Brickett from Columbus. This is a D event semifinal.
And C is also in the third end. They have not hung the score, so we don't know what happened. We do know that Shaw's throwing the first stone, which means they took 1. Actually, I guess it does. Yeah, it does. It means they took at least 1. We don't know how many more than that. So Dobbs is in the hack. What's the play? Actually, Dobbs isn't in the hack. He's coming down towards the hack.
So I
I'm
could
not sure what
see
the
where
plan
the brooms were pointing and stuff. I think he's just going to try to thin past the guard.
Let's see what
and
he's got to
catch the
say.
top one. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and just.
So line's pretty tight. The back
That's
one
tight,
guard, they're define plan Bs. Big Chris Sun here. Hold that.
So I think
He's gonna hit something.
Mike Sell's assumption is correct.
Yeah, I think he's trying to go ahead and hit the shot stones directly, but playing it very narrow with the plan B of just peeling the guard, if that is what it comes down
the
to.
moment he's past the guard, he's out. At the moment he's outside, he's not going to get the front one. He will get the back one, however,
It's an interesting way to pull
which
it off.
doesn't hurt.
Yeah. So they did hang the score on sheet C. It looks like Team Shaw took their 2 with the hammer. That's going to make the score 2-1. Shaw over Kempenich. This is an A event semifinal.
All right, so everybody's working the third end right now. Our game working a little bit faster than all the others, but that's okay. Yeah, we agree, Heidi. My understanding of the physics wasn't great either, and that's why I was thinking, yeah, we'll go for the triple. What the hell? But yeah, actually, what was going to happen was exactly what happened. The top 2 were going to jam, and the third one was going to go out the back.
Well, our new stones are definitely more lively than the old ones were.
However,
and so if they're not dead frozen, there is always a chance to get a little spin or a little action off of them. I was a little surprised that there was just no action at all in that shot.
But
they were all pretty much lined up.
Frozen, and it was a beautiful straight line. So you gotta have a little bit of an offset to get any directionality going, and there wasn't any. So
I don't know how we get more than 1.
all right, what's Dr. Rick's prescription for his first skip stone? Actually, his second skip stone, right? Yeah. His
I'd
last stone of the end.
Guardy.
Guardy. Well, he's already got guardy.
Well, throw another one on the right side of the center line.
Okay.
Yeah, because with it now, there is a potential to use the guard and the shot stone to make some kind of double.
Sure. And yeah, it does look like he prescribed a guard, and it looks like he's filling his own prescription pretty well, all told. Might tap his other guard by the slightest bit. No, actually not even. So yeah, Dobbs is not getting to that stone in the forefoot with any sort of ease. He's considering some angles for some wacky.
He motions at the angle raise, and the lead yells, "Do it!" So we know what the front end is voting to do here.
Front end's voting for that. And boy, he's thinking about it hard because he's looking at angles on all the stones. Admittedly, this is kind of Dobbs' thing. He'll calculate all the options.
Well, and really,
it'll take a minute.
The one place you don't want to try to throw here is up the middle, because if you chip a yellow and put it in, you're stealing even more, or you're giving up an even bigger steal than you're already looking at. So by playing out around for the corner, the worst case scenario really is just you miss and it's 1 yellow anyway, which it already is.
So do we have the capability to give the fans the overhead so they can get a better view of the angles here?
It's funny you mentioned that.
We have that
We do
option.
have that
All right,
option.
Yay! Okay, so that's the situation here. It looks like basically what he's planning on doing, God, I wish I had a telestrator, is he's going to try to chip the red stone that's to the left of the center line by about 1.5 feet, get in and take the shot out that way. It would be a shot for 2 if he pulls it off. The stone is on its way. Sweepers aren't touching it. JR doesn't look completely convinced.
What do you think it's going to do?
And it's because he flashed. Flashed on the outside, made just the slightest contact with the stone. So Dr. Rick gets a steal to go up, or to tie. That ties it, right? Yeah,
Yes,
that
that's
ties
2
it
to
to 2. Tied at 2 after 3. While we have a moment between ends here, I'd just like to send congratulations out to a couple of members of our club, from the Clausen family. We heard the news earlier today that they, along with their female pair from Minnesota, won the mixed nationals, the quads, not the mixed doubles.
Right.
The mixed nationals competition earlier today, so they'll actually be representing our club and our country at the mixed worlds next year. So congratulations to them, and we look forward to a party at the club when they get home. Sure.
I think at this rate we're going to have to build a separate trophy case just for the Clausens, I think.
The
Yeah.
Clausen Memorial Case. And
Was that one of us, or was that from out on the ice?
I think it had to have been out from the ice. I didn't burp.
That came across the mic really
Yes, it
loud.
did. Yeah, it must have been.
Alternative.
It must have been.
I
It must have
guess.
been AJ.
Or yeah, it had to have been AJ.
It
Speaking
could
of
have,
whom, AJ is throwing his first stone at the moment.
it could have been Dobbs.
And Michael has asked him to take out the stone that Rick had Dana throw in the house. And looks like that's what's occurring, although the shooter may well roll out. Yes, the shooter is going to not quite roll out. It's biting on the tee, on the edge of the 12-foot thing. I'm sure there's a technical term for it. Circle. The word is
Hard
circle.
roll was a joke. He is testing you. I am not a lead to shy away from a hit. It's a bad strategy to use against the team that I'm lead on, right? Put it in, see if they'll hit it.
The Bonspiel announcement there, and then if you have the small white ones
Okay.
too, yeah.
Oy.
If you want
It's
to
gonna be the harder way for me to get it to stick around.
All right, so AJ Oyer's second stone is on its way. Michael Dobbs asking for a house split over on the other side, looking for something in the tee, kind of the 8-foot, 12-foot out on the other side. Sweepers aren't on it. Feels to me like it's a little heavy. It's going to go to at least the back of the house, possibly through. Yes, through, but not completely out of play. So while we're waiting for Amanda Weisgerber to throw her first stones, I'd like to take a second to talk about a couple of events that are coming up next year.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yes. So the ice, as everybody knows, for the Potomac Curling Club will be melting on Tax Day, April 15th, kind of the saddest day of the year. But we will be coming back next September. And right at the start of the season, Columbus Day weekend, October 6th through 8th of 2017, the Potomac Curling Club is excited to announce that we will be hosting the first, as far as we know, ever LGBTQ and Friends Bonspiel in the United States. We'd like to point out it is open to anybody. You do not have to specify an orientation, but it is designed to be friendly and accommodating to LGBTQ folks and their supporters. As we said, there will be a 16-team open Bonspiel. We will be accepting single registrants and matching people up with a team. The official registration and everything will be going up on June 1st on the website, curldc.org. And then barely a month after that will be our 4th annual Embassy Row Bonspiel. This time we're going to be going to Cuba, partying in Havana. We'll be playing the Food and Music of Cuba, November 9th through 12th, 2017. Registration will be opening on the 9th of August.
A nice little celebration of the thawing of diplomatic relations.
Exactly.
And Cuba known for, among lots of other things, pretty good food and cocktails, both things that you need a lot of at a Bonspiel.
Exactly.
So there we go.
So that will be that's the typical $360 per team registration fee. As I said, registration will open on the 9th of August.
Both ways too, right?
And the Embassy Row is actually going to be a 32-team max. We're expecting a good crowd, so please sign up early and often. Again, information for that will be on curldc.org. Meanwhile, while I was pimping out all of the Bonspiels, what has happened?
So Red did get a corner guard up, but other than that, not much going traditionally as an end would sort of script out for the first few rocks, with the exception of Rick Balala putting 2 on the button again.
This is not a recording.
This is not a repeat of last end.
You can tell because the stones are coming the other way.
That is true.
That's the only way you can tell, though.
Normal!
Chris Sung's stone is being asked to try to get rid of some of those on the board, and it looks like that's going to happen. He's pretty much got the top one. No, well, it only moved the second one, but he did get shot out of it.
Not exactly a double, but the next best thing.
Exactly.
Taking one out, moving the other one off of the button, sitting on the button or close enough to it.
Yep. So Rick is asking his vice Craig with the first stone to take out the stone that's currently sitting in the 4-foot owned by the Dobbs team. Looks like it's going to be a pretty straight nose
got
hit.
the hit. It actually might cross the face and jam. No, just avoided
Just
the
missed
jam.
the jam. And rolled over to the other side. So the W's featured Dr. Rick have 2 in the 8-foot. Well, one's touching the 4. On opposite sides of the center line.
Yeah,
honestly,
on opposite sides of the T line. Yeah.
it's a good situation. And opposite sides of the T. Good point. Opposite quadrants of the house. It's a good situation to be in, really.
Yeah, it's not super thin or flat. You could hit the top one and roll across. It would be a tough double, but you could hit one and sort of roll onto the other one.
Yeah,
that would be a good
direction
shot.
at least. However, Dobbs asked J.R. Groves to just do a straightforward hit on the 1 in the 4-foot. However, it looks wide to me. No, I'm wrong. It's past the guard. It's got a hit, and it may even actually, just basically a nose. Straight replace. So Dobbs sitting 1 with hammer, I might add.
Yeah, that's not a terrible place to be. Not perfect, but shot stone is never bad.
Yeah. Other than the fact it is fairly open, the outer edge might be covered by a guard. It's up in the 3s, but it's basically 95 or more % exposed for Craig Weisgerber, who looks like he has done exactly that. He's gotten the nose, he's rolled over towards the center. So now Dr. Rick is saying, take 2 stones and call me in the morning. I'm having way too much fun with this.
What that does do is it puts these 2 yellow stones a lot closer together than they were a minute ago.
But it's also a
They are a lot flatter now.
Yeah, it's a lot flatter double. Dobbs is still not trying it. He's still playing. Let's hit the stuff in the middle. And J.R. Stone is on the way. It's a controlled weight hit. It's got to come off. Dobbs is asking for it to come off the center line. Here
Yeah,
it
I
comes.
think he's just going to hit that inside one of the nose again. He's not going to quite
Slightly
get
inside.
the nose.
Actually, we're very inside. He rolls over. So now he's shot in the 4-foot. Somebody's really got to, some burpees going on here. So it appears that Dr. Rick is going to attempt to hit. Now, if he crosses face at all, he does set up a situation where Dobbs could take out both of those with 1 stone if it comes to, if Rick's shooter rolls outside the slightest. And we do point out Dobbs does have that stone that was like the first or second stone to the end, just sitting there quietly unassuming over in the corner, over on the tee on the corner of the 12.
Yeah, he's got the little dingle dangle over
that
there.
no one's thinking about. Okay, we have a third end score on sheet A. The Nico Rink only took 1 with the third end hammer. They're down 5-1. We do not have scores on C or D. Oh, breaking news. We have an update on C. The third end is blanked, I guess. Yes, the third end was blanked, so it's still 2-1 in favor of Shaw. And D is still in the third end.
So they're able to hit the redstone, roll back across the center line.
He's saving that for the hammer.
They are definitely not as doubleable as Michael Dobbs was hoping, I think, after that shot.
Yeah, I know.
I saw Rachel Holman hit that shot.
A
times and
nose hit
Rachel
on the
can't be that- or
one in the
that-
4-foot wouldn't be terrible. A freeze onto it wouldn't be terrible because it has gone past the tee line.
He's saving that for last. See if we can get a better angle.
Right, and he could get it with his second stone, no problem. Dobbs does have the hammer this end.
Yeah.
Ooh. A double like that is going to be real hard.
He is now starting to think about the double. And I think he's calling the double. Or at least he's calling the hit the one and roll towards the other one.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that might even be a better outcome than the double. Because if you take out both yellows, you're just sitting in an empty house without really any cover.
It's not empty. Remember, he's got the sneaky stone over there.
True. I didn't really mean empty. I meant sort of open. There's really only the one guard, and if you hit both yellow stones, you're not going to end up under that guard.
No,
but
not
if
at
you
all.
nestle up against that yellow stone, you can use it as a way to try to protect your point, and then at the end to take it out to get 2 or 3.
Possibly. So let's see what happens here. Stone is on the way. Dobbs has a clean release, clean slide. Called it controlled. AJ got on the sweep, trying to keep it a little bit straighter. It's not happening. He's got the first half of the touch, but rolled through. But he had the hit, but he did not get the takeout.
Right. Yeah, he hit it just a little too thin.
Yep.
Didn't move it enough, and then wicked off too deep instead of flat.
Yep. So the practical upshot of that is that Dr. Rick is still lying too. Now, Dobbs does have the hammer. So Dobbs does have one more stone to potentially do something about.
Right.
Like it still is, but when I compare that to what my old one was doing.
A stone in the middle, and then everyone fighting over whose biter is biting more.
So I guess we learned one thing from that shot. Dobbs is not Rachel Holman.
Dr. Rick sitting in the hack with his final stone of this fourth end.
The same way, it'd be great.
And for those of you listening to AJ's microphone, I can confirm if everyone's suspicions there, the front end does pretty much just talk about the skip when they're down there by themselves.
Stone is on its way. He's being asked to guard. He's trying to guard his shot stone, which is an intelligent decision. Sweepers just came off of it. Might be over curling a little bit, or it might be beautiful. It's going to come in. It's going to be full 12-foot. No, actually, it's
So here's the real question.
full 8-foot.
What do you think?
It's pretty directly in front of their stone. It's a little past, a little outside the stone in the 4-foot.
Yeah, the double is
So-
there, but because of the stone that they didn't take out on the previous shot,
Yeah.
it's not going to be a double for 2. So I think it's
they're
basically just
doing
a draw.
Well, not much
It's not
line
ice
for a draw. So I guess he's planning on hitting that one in the back.
I think he's looking to hit the top one here and roll back over the top. That just seems like such a weird shot to throw here.
There's no reason to not be drawing for the button here. I don't. This seems like an extremely poor choice.
No, JR is pointing at the nose double, but with
But
that
that's
much,
also a poor choice. Or
I mean, it's not a poor choice. It's just not.
It's not. It's an
It's a really
unnecessarily-
hard way to try to get a
It's
one.
an unnecessarily risky shot for one. And I got to be honest, at the moment, I think he's going to hit outside of it. I think he just gave Rick one. Yep. Yep.
He also didn't have the weight to move both stones
No.
there.
I sincerely question that shot. I don't think Dobbs thought his way through that well enough.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand throwing the double there. If you're a skip that excels at the hit versus the draw, that it was pretty open. You could just throw as much weight as you want, hit it right there, and not have to worry about the window of sticking for the draw. But
guess,
Michael Dobbs is a better drawer than hitter.
Yeah.
And I think with a wide open, with the button wide open with a little bit of backing, I think just draw to freeze on the back yellow, take your
Would have been the
single
right decision.
was a safer call.
Yeah. But too late to do anything about it now. After 4,
I will say that
the W's go up 3-2.
sometimes my job is to try to talk Michael into that shot or out of that shot, but from this chair, it is not my job right now.
No, but it will be. Yeah, but he doesn't really. I've got to believe JR tried to.
JR might have actually talked him into the double, actually, because he
He's a
often
hitter.
does advocate for.
He's a hitter.
I think he's more just trying to counteract how averse to hitting sometimes Michael is, by just letting him know that the hit is always still an option.
Fair enough. And we got a third end score over on sheet D. Burkett throwing the Redstones took a 1 with the third end hammer to cut the Finley lead to 3-1 after 3 ends. So all the games except for our feature are currently in the fourth end, working their way through it.
I fell all over that one.
AJ Oyer's first stone went through the house after Dana Weisberger's first stone went up as a corner 3 guard. So we have 1 guard. And looks like Rick is asking Dana to throw another center line guard. Possibly, she's probably okay if she comes around it. But probably asking mostly for some center guard action.
Yeah, the similar depth or just higher other side of center
But
line
this
would be
seems
great.
a
But
lot
this is definitely
heavier.
a lot more weight.
Definitely in the house, definitely past the tee, definitely out of the house. It is a throw through. Not on purpose, it happens.
But very nice line.
Again,
Ended up
guys.
out of the
I
house,
thought that
directly
first one was
behind the
bad
center
enough.
guard.
I'm getting to
So Dobbs now trying to draw behind.
Let's go with that.
Again, just a reminder, we got the chat going on the live stream. A few folks active on that. Feel free to join in and kibitz on the game. If you have any questions about what's going on in the other sheets or anything else going on at the club this evening, feel free to speak up.
Just sweep it out. It's useless.
Slightly less weight on this redstone, but not enough less.
Hangs in the back 8. So that was Chris Sun's first stone, yes? Yes.
Oh,
Chris
okay.
Sun's first stone, back 8.
No, I think that was AJ's second, actually.
Was that 80 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. That was 80 seconds. You're correct. This would be Amanda's first then. Yes.
I don't know why he didn't even have you guys just sweep it through.
Definitely light for a
It
hit.
was fully exposed.
Mike looks
really
pretty good
helping
for a
a lot.
nestle, though. It's pretty good for a freeze. Actually, it's not light for a hit. It's going to be enough. It's going to knock. It doesn't knock it. It knocks it back, not out.
Mother. Yeah, I hear you. That's a little bit. Wait's there. Wait's not there.
Dobbs was looking to come in and hit the stone that was on the back 8 foot, but he chipped the guard over, opens it up. His stone is now just in
And-
front of the house on the right, and the guard is over on the left.
Chipped the guard and essentially left 2 decent corner guards for him to use if he can clear out the center.
I don't think so.
If he can get the yellow out of there or
He did.
do whatever he needs to do to allow him to draw behind the corners, that would be a pretty good setup.
I wanted it out as wide as possible. Like a 45.
Amanda being asked to center line guard, possibly a scoring guard. Although this looks more like it's going to be a 3-ish. And comes over and is right in line. I will give Rick credit. He is throwing. He is calling a very good guard game.
Oh boy.
He's not. His guard stones have not been over curling or under curling, but they've been getting pretty much the exact width he's been looking for.
Super sushi power sweeping.
Chris Sons. Second stone. Yes, second stone at the end is on the way. Dobbs asking to get rid of some stuff. I think he wanted him to draw around. I don't think he's going to get that. I think it's going to be a peel. Yep, it's peel, and with enough weight to get the former guard
At least into the penalty box.
all the way out of play.
Oh, okay.
No, not all the way out of play. Just hanging on as a hazard to navigation.
That one's even kind of a hazard to the people over on sheet C.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm
impressive.
saying. That's somebody's going to die from that stone. As Craig Weisberger throws his first stone at the end, Greg Major checks in from Houston.
Yes. Hello from Houston. Hello to Houston.
Hello to Houston
from Laurel.
Laurel. How's it going, Mr. Major? And Rick attempting to put the guard back.
Attempting pretty successfully. Well, not as successful as the first one.
Not as
but
successfully, but plenty successful.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
When I started saying that, it looked like it had checked up on the other side of the center line, but no,
yeah,
it's fully straddling the center.
Yeah, it is adequately successful.
That's a center guard.
Looks like Dobbs is asking JR to either peel or if he gets. I mean, he's not going to complain if he gets past.
Yeah,
Because he's got a little bit on the outside. He could chip it from the outside, although Dobbs had the sweepers get on it immediately. And they're sweeping hard, and it's
now they're just trying to hold it so that they
to-
don't nose here.
Which
And-
they're going to nose.
and a little split. No, not enough weight in the back.
Bonus point. At the moment, Dr. Rick's sitting two, and as just adding insult to injury, the stone that JR just threw is sitting on the center line providing that guard.
Yeah, Rick Bilala just can't buy a bad guard. Even
No.
when they're giving him guards, he's got good ones.
So he's now asking for, you guessed it, a guard. Although, in my opinion, I think Chris Weisberger's stone might be a little hot. It's drawing in not enough to be the third shot, because Dobbs does have a stone in the just barely touching the back, the 8 foot in the back there. And actually, at the moment, that stone's hurting him because it's providing a backing for the two that are on the center line in the 4 foot.
You want to open it up? Okay.
So JR being asked to get in, I think.
Back line.
Stone is on its way. It's kind of wide. Okay, Dobbs brings the sweepers on now. It's past the guard. It's
through the
coming
port.
in. It's through the port. He's got the tap. Dobbs lies one. He did not take that yellow out. He just chipped it back. So there are two Dr. Rick stones in the back 8 foot. Dobbs does have the hammer, or not the hammer. Well, Dobbs also has the hammer, but at the moment he has the shot stone also.
Yeah, and actually,
A little heavy, then you draw through.
at this point now, those yellows that he didn't remove are actually helping him a pretty good deal here.
Yeah, although they do keep that one that he's got in the 12 foot from scoring, but
Maybe we'll yell at
Yeah,
He'll make that trade.
They're at the moment cutting him down to 1, but they're making sure that shot stone isn't going anywhere.
yeah, that would be very unlikely for that shot stone to go anywhere. So Rick settling in for his first skips stone. of this fifth end. We're in the fifth end, right? Wow, this game's already half over.
Well, it has been going on for about an hour.
Yeah, I know. And he's looking to draw in and tap Dobbs back. He doesn't even have to tap back. He can sit on Dobbs stone, and that's perfectly fine. Sweepers get on it pretty quickly. They're sweeping it hard. It hasn't broken yet. At the moment, it looks like he's got the hole. He's got the hole shot. No, he's on the guard. On the guard up top.
Look you just had back here is the same
So
like
Dobbs still sitting one.
School, right? Just like the elbow down on the table. I'm here, that's what's required.
And they finished the fourth end on sheet A. I don't know what happened. They also finished the fourth end on sheet C. Again, I don't know what happened.
Everywhere. We'll find out when they hang scores, which might be a while because the fourth ends are the ones coming away from the scoreboard. But yeah. When we have scores, you will have scores.
Yes, but not 1 minute earlier.
Dobbs here in a sense, commanding position with shot stone without any really way to get to it or get it out of the house. But in a sense, not commanding position because he really doesn't have any way to put any more rocks in the house.
I mean, the draw line's there. Because, I mean, that's how he got there with the stone that's there now.
Well, he got through the port, actually,
That's what I mean.
between the reds. But now with that yellow kind of covering a portion of that port. I think he's trying to come. Actually, I was going to say all the way around the outside.
No, he's drawing the port. And there's enough of a port there. If he gets between the two, it's going to end up where he wants it. It's tight, but it's there.
Yeah, and it's also not a big deal if it just wrecks because then it's just another rock in front of shot stone.
All right, we got a fourth end score on sheet A. Hefner took 2. They're up 7-1 after 4. All right, Dobbs' stone is on the way. As we said, he just wants to draw a port and get to the button, basically. It's a little wide at the moment. It's starting to break.
Too.
It's heavy. It's heavy and wide. Those are two things you do not want to hear on a draw. Chips and doesn't get anywhere.
No,
But it does
he's
make
closed
that
the port.
hole. Yeah, exactly. So his one is pretty safe at this point. But he's got no real viable path to a second that I can see other than a crazy wide draw.
Yeah, right now he could come around the right side. He only has to be full 8 foot for a second.
True.
I think Rick is going to try to beat him to it.
Dr. Rick's trying to get there first.
Yeah. Either get under there so he can't get it or leave something up high just to take away the line.
I'm pretty sure high to take away the draw is the plan because he's not
he can't steal, right.
He's not going to get unless it literally picks in the 12 foot to roll to the button, and he ain't going to get there. So this is a wide guard. Close, deny that line to Michael. Stone is on its way. A little tight for the guard. He is, if anything, he's going to wreck into the pile of stuff in front of the center of the house, which doesn't really change the tactical situation of the end much at all. So that stone's really a professional non-entity. Nothing really happened there. So Michael Dobbs, as we were saying a minute ago, really just has to get to a little better than a full 8 foot to get a second point.
Oh, sheet C, their fourth end has been hung. It was a blank, just like their third.
Second blank in a row. So that's still 2-1 in favor of the Shaw rink with the Kempening over the Kempening rink, which does not have any shots. Fourth end is also over on sheet D. We don't know what they have not hung. They have not hung the score.
No, they haven't.
All right, Michael Dobbs' stone is on the way. He's drawing from the edge of the 12-foot, trying to get, as we said, trying to get basically the stone full into the 8-foot.
Yeah, looking at where the yellow ones are, if it's not touching blue, it will count.
Now we're stuck in crap.
So the sweepers are on it for weight, not line at this point. It does have, it looks like it's got the bend. They're trying to fight for the weight. Fighting hard, but I don't think it's going to get there. It does not get there. Dobbs takes 1. That does tie the game up at 3, but Dobbs gives up the hammer after 5. He can't be completely satisfied with that result. So as I said, after 5, it's tied between the Michael Dobbs rink from the Potomac Curling Club and the W's featuring Dr. Rick from the Chesapeake Curling Club. Tied at 3 after 5.
Too much out in that crap where. I mean, we had to wait to curl back, otherwise we couldn't get full weight. No, 3.
Now we start getting down. We start to discuss end-game scenarios.
You want to be guard with
3 ends to play.
Yeah, 3 ends to play, a tie game.
Dobbs has got to be in a situation where he's sitting here. He pretty much feels like he has to force the 1.
Yeah, I think because we're in what, the 6th end.
Yeah. So there's 3 ends. So at the moment, Rick would get the hammer twice to Dobbs 1 if they switch back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, a force and then the deuce means they're up 1 without.
Yep.
Maybe
forcing a blank here wouldn't be bad. That would give you the hammer in the 8th.
Yeah, it gives you hammer in the 8th, as long as you can force them to the 1 in the 7th.
Right.
So that you're only down 1 with instead of 2 or more.
So Dobbs threw his first guard as he was hoping to get a center guard. He's a corner guard, corner of the 4-foot. Dana Weingerber being asked to draw behind it. Looks like she's going to do so. Unless it chips. No, it gets to behind. Is it going to stick?
It's in the house, but I think it's
does.
Going to
it did, however, I think it over curled. It's in the back 12, and yep, is outside the guard. Dobbs is choosing not to worry about it at the moment. Interesting choice on the line to put up a center guard. I actually think I would have come from the other side and come in, because if I drifted in, I'd get behind my guard there. Dobbs' stone draws into the top 12.
Yeah, not quite enough to outcount the yellow. Probably doesn't matter either way.
Yeah.
Like the center
Way too early in the end.
Yeah, way too early in the end.
Start worrying about which rock in the 12-foot is shot.
Yeah.
And it just
and looks like Dana's being asked to do some violence to it anyhow. Although that is outside. That is very wide for hitting the that stone. And actually, this would be a free Gonzalez violation if this stone gets out of play.
Sweep it, Dobbs. Sweep it. Sweep it, Dobbs.
Yep, that's a free go. Nope, it's guard.
Free guard. Yeah, it's not a free guard anyway. It's a free guard.
So they're replacing the guard stone.
The one sweeping your stone to make sure it gets out, though, right?
I'm fairly certain Michael wouldn't have minded not having the guard, to be honest. But rule says you can't just take their shooter out and leave your stone out also. You have to put yours back. So it is what it is.
Oh, right, yeah, I guess even if for whatever reason you could, if you could optionally just not take the enforcement, which I'm pretty sure you still have to take it, you can't take out their stone and not put yours back.
That is correct.
You would have to just leave the result of the shot as it played.
And yes, Julie, you are correct. It is Weiss-Gerber. I'm going to miss that up 75 more times before this game is over. I apologize in advance because my notes have it written wrong. This stone is very light. It's going to split the guard that just got put back.
I'm not
They
worried
just
about
don't want that stone there, do they? Okay,
Well, it's going to roll over and guard the stone that's second shot.
true.
Although a stack on the center line is not a bad way to maybe try to steal a point this
That's
end.
true. And Dobbs certainly wouldn't mind stealing. Hey, you never really mind stealing.
Yeah, well, yeah, points are points.
Exactly.
You take them when you get them.
out far enough, or if he didn't
And that would also allow Michael to have the hammer in the even end.
Exactly. So yeah, a steal of 1 right now is golden, actually.
I mean, it curls a lot.
All right, so Amanda Weisgerber's stone is on its way. She's being asked to draw in
Slightly more to the wall side.
or possibly guard the shot stone. This is going to not quite make house.
Yeah.
It is functioning as an effective guard, though. It guards the out-turn hit, at least, on the shot that's currently shot.
Let's not tap it when it's a double tap and their stone is right there.
Are we
if
sure the
accidentally
yellow
don't
stone
come
is
back
shot?
and-
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
well closer,
Yeah.
but actually, I think it's moved a little bit or something. But,
All right, so Dobbs is planning on drawing in behind his phalanx on the center line.
yeah, it looked like he started to call like a raise and then changed his mind to draw
Well,
around,
he's
but I
going to
think
get
he's going to
the
get a raise.
if it comes back to the nose. Otherwise, it's going to be a tap over. Really, what the heck happened there?
This one was
It
like
didn't
that.
do anything. He tapped it over into the other yellow and it bounced back.
Okay.
I've been notified that we have a score update for sheet D. They hung their fourth end, and it was 4
big
points for the team throwing the red stone.
Which is Burkett to
Yes.
take a 5-4 lead over Finley, making that a brand new game, basically. So Dr. Rick asking Amanda to get the hit, and I think he was hoping to roll to the inside. He's not going to get much roll. No roll at all, really. But he does get the hit, and it is a takeout. So that actually makes that the shot stone. So actually, right now, Dr. Rick's sitting 2.
Yep. And I'm guessing
So
here the
way
play
right
has
in.
hit that stone and roll behind.
Yeah. Which is the right call.
Yeah.
Control.
So we got a control weight stone coming down. It needs to move some if it wants to get that hit. At the moment, it feels like it's going to flash.
And I'm going to guess that's what the long protracted whoa from the skip.
This sounds good. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna
At
be
delivery
right.
was.
That's where you need
Yep,
to be,
went
You
right
need
through
to
the
be really
hole.
close to that if you want to be buried.
So JR gets a 0 on that
Especially if you
stone.
wanna be
Yeah,
buried in,
That's
I-
going to look bad on the stat sheet at the end of the game.
Yeah,
Good thing
it
we don't
is.
keep stat sheets.
Right. I've thought about
Just-
trying it,
you
but
need to stay on it the whole way.
it requires too many hands already to manipulate the cameras. I
Yeah.
would basically just need another person with a separate computer to do that.
Yeah.
And that's just beyond our budget at that point.
Yeah, well, scary thing is at like nationals, they actually have two people per game just keeping stats. It's crazy. All right, so Craig Weisgerber's stone is on the way. Rick asked him to draw around the 2 center guards. It's
got the
certainly
line,
got
but-
the line, but it feels heavy to me. And it also feels heavy to Dobbs, who's putting the broom on it and bringing it through the house. Yep.
Straight.
All right, so we traded a flashed hit with a draw through the house. So really, we're standing exactly where we were at the first third stones, but now with the second third stones. So this shot should seem strangely familiar.
It does. I think he's got the broom in a better place this time.
Slightly less line, yes.
Yeah. First, I think he was taking more, and I was thoroughly confused as to why you take more ice on it when you just flashed. But
No, it is slightly less.
he has corrected.
And this one, okay, they got a sweeper on this kind of quick, so I think they're concerned for an overcorrection. It might be overcurling.
Wait there. We're on there.
He's got the hit, but he's not going to get the roll under.
He's not going to get the roll he asked he was wanting, at least. Nope, that's not sitting shot. That's sitting. That's not. That's third.
Second or third, yeah.
Third.
Third.
Definitely third. Definitely third. So Dr. Rick in the tie game with the hammer here in the 6th. I'm guessing that's a draw in line.
That'd be a pretty good play.
Yeah, he's already sitting 1, and that 1 is tolerably well guarded.
I would definitely want to take a shot at it, but I throw from the other half.
Feels
so.
a little tight. This might chip off the. Nope, it's past it, but it's probably too heavy to stick around. Amanda throws through the house. This is not a recording. Wait a minute, that wasn't Amanda. Never mind. That was Craig. Craig throws through the house. This is still not a recording, however.
That yellow stone might be exposed enough. It would definitely be enough if Michael Dobbs is playing with his usual left-handed vice. However, this tournament he's actually playing with a left-handed second.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter because we're on skip stones.
I know, but what I'm getting at is if
so what you're saying is you could do it.
I would love to have the opportunity to do so, but
so what you're saying is you could do it.
Well, myself and anyone of my particular sinister persuasion.
I was going to say you're sinister, folks. Says the man who curls with a stick. So I really can't bitch. So Dobbs was looking at the head.
It feels like the port is 2 to 3 rocks wide there.
I mean, I'd throw it, but I throw with a stick.
You don't need a ton of weight.
No.
And if you hit it out, you've cut Rick down to 1 by only having 1 rock left.
And honestly, even if you end up chipping off the red that is the outer stone, your shooter probably then spins in and you possibly get to the button on the spin. So, I mean, even the outer miss is not a horrid shot.
No, I think he's going to just try to draw
Looks
a
like
button.
he's just trying to draw, which
not a bad call.
Not
like
a horrible
if
call.
it works, it's better than just the takeout. But if it doesn't work, you still set Rick up for a 2.
Yeah.
If it's light, it's going to curl more.
And this is Dobbs' first. Yes, Dobbs' first skip stone. Stone is on its way through a very delicate weight. I almost feel like it's light, as do the sweepers. They both getting on it. Although, I wonder if Chris realizes his sweeping technique is outside the sweep. But it's coming in and it chips up and nope, it chips off. It does block the draw port that Rick was probably going to consider taking for the second.
Yeah.
So there's
Not
there's
a terrible first stone
It helps
there.
It helps the force case.
It does, and it allows a lot of options for the second skip stone to promote one of those into a very good location.
Yes, absolutely true. Actually, it even opens up a corner of the one on the center line. So, because that stone that's on the center line in the 12-foot, he would really only need to promote it by
6 inches.
Not
if
even,
that,
like
yeah.
3 inches, and that would be the shot stone. So, I mean, that's not. There's lots of play for Dobbs with the second stone, depending on what Rick gives him with his first stone.
Yeah. And with Rick here, it looks like the call is going to be an in-off or hit and roll on the outside of the 3 reds.
I don't like that shot.
It's not spectacular, but if you can roll, well, any roll you get is going to be just directly under one of those other 2 reds, which may as well be exposed with as short as that run back would be.
And I don't, but on the other hand, I'm also looking at it, and I don't see a clean draw line.
No, the closest would be through the port on the right.
Maybe through the port on the right, the intern from the right. But now it doesn't matter now. Stone's on its way. He's throwing. No, never mind.
That's a ton of weight.
That is a lot of weight. He's not going to get a roll. He's going to nose. That doesn't do him much good at all.
No,
I mean, other than it provides him something to promote with the second stone, I guess.
Yeah, that stone at the moment is going to be 4th shot.
Yeah. All right, so now Dobbs is looking at that hit that we've been talking about basically since, 4 or 5 stones ago, where, you're saying you could do it, I'm saying I can do it.
Give it
Of course, we're both sitting here behind the commentary table. Yeah,
I mean, I
you
wasn't
at least
even
had
entered
the,
in the
yeah, I was going to
tournament,
say, you at least have the excuse that you weren't in the tournament, so we don't know. I, on the other hand, have been eliminated, so I obviously know maybe I couldn't do it.
If you just went like nose into stick. Like, if you wanted to like roll out, then it's a lot harder. But.
Oh, hey, Sheet C decided to score. In the fifth end, the Shaw rink with a Kempenich scored 1 to take a 3-1 lead over the Kempenich rink, which does not have a Shaw.
Yes, they have still at this point played more ends than they have scored points.
Yes. All right, so this is not the hit, or is it?
No, I think it's the hit with the intern.
Okay, but this is way, that must have been a misrelease or something, or is it just a chip in? Or a raise, it is also a raise, and it's an effective
it's a
raise.
run back takeout.
It's an effective run back takeout. It may not have been the plan, but it worked.
I mean, if we were playing pool, he would probably have to apologize for that shot, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, and he's got the look on his face. He knows he got away with one there.
yes, Michael, it just moved. It couldn't have had anything to do with the way he threw it at all.
No, it couldn't have possibly been his release or his technique or his line.
Or his weight or anything.
Or his
yeah.
weight. It had to have just been that they picked something up on the ice, and yeah, sure, of course, right?
That's always how it is. It's never never the
100%.
shooter's fault. It's
Right.
always the sweeper or the ice
Exactly.
or the lighting or
The lighting.
it gets in your eyes or makes warm spots on the ice. It's just
Okay, that's a reach.
Of course it was a reach. Right? All like the first 6 excuses weren't.
So Dr. Rick is facing 2. He doesn't have a nice line.
No, if he can double these 2 reds, it would be 2 for himself, but I'm not sure how possible it is. They're pretty level, but they're also very close together.
Yeah. I feel like he's going to be giving up a steal of 1 here. But we'll see what happens. Okay, well, he's throwing a ton. His sweepers aren't on it, mostly because I don't think the sweepers could keep up with it even if they were trying to.
Oh, they're right there.
It is curling. He's going to get the first part of it. He's going to get the hit on the 1. Is he going to get across? He made contact, but not enough contact to make a difference. Dobbs does, in fact, steal 1 to go up 4-3 after 6 and do that whole stealing of the hammer thing that we were talking about. We have a 5th end score on sheet A. The Hefner rink took another 2. They are now up 9-1 in the 6th. So that game, barring a major change in affairs, looks like that's going to put. That's the other A, right? That's the other A semi.
The games on A and C are the A.
Yeah.
semifinals.
So at the moment, it's looking very good for the Hefner rink to be playing either Shaw with a Kempenich or Kempenich without a Shaw in the finals.
Pretty nice first rock for AJ.
Yep, at Stone is in the 4-foot.
Yeah, if you're going to go ahead and call the first rock in the house, which is not bad when you're leading, that's a perfectly good place to put it.
Absolutely. And Dana Weisgerber's first stone being asked to hit it. She's in danger of overcurling here. Yep, it's just a flash, and shooter rolls out. So, yeah.
Made a little contact, but
The red, the 4-foot did exactly, made him go for the hit and a miss. So Dobbs now gets to start guarding his shot at the 4-foot and start playing it that way. It's a good situation to be sitting in, to play in.
Yeah, and in this spot now that he's up a point instead of tied, he's pretty happy with either a forced or a steal.
Yes.
Or really a blank even. Not so much the blank, probably.
Yeah, because a blank, you'd only be up 1 without hammer coming
Yeah,
home.
you'd just be playing the 7th again. It's not any better for him.
So this stone did not get the job done. It is a tall 2-guard just on the left side center line. You guys can't even see it on the overhead camera. You're not watching the overhead camera, but if you were, you couldn't see it.
I would say you almost can't see it on the regular camera, but the camera does go out past the hog line, so you definitely can see it there.
So Dana Weisgerber has a fairly open hit at the stone in the 4-foot. Sweepers are on it hard, and they need to be because, again, we're in danger of this being an overcurl for a flash. And, yep, it happened again, although this time her shooter also rolls out. So basically her 2 stones, all they've done is moved it over just slightly. Chris Sun's first stone, he's being asked to guard up in front. Make sure we're here. This is also going to overcurl, I think. Sweepers are on it with some aggression, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold it enough. It is not in front of the shot stone. It is, however, in the house. Full 12, just to the right of the center line, not behind cover in any sort of meaningful way. But sitting 2. There's that.
Cool.
Amanda Weisgerber stone on the way. Looks like she's going to chip off the top 12-foot, and we'll see what the roll does afterwards. Actually, all she did was tap it further up. I don't think that was what Rick had in mind.
Probably not, but it does put a Yellowstone into the house. It's not particularly easy to remove. It also doesn't really matter to remove at the moment.
Right.
But it's a stone that they can play with, that they can use to run out one of those reds,
Yes,
or start to build a base for getting some points, because at the moment they have not really established a way to score some points this end.
No, and they've never taken more than 1 in an end. So, and a 1 really doesn't do Rick much good, because that would give him, it'd be even without the hammer. So Rick would never have the hammer for the rest of the game, basically. Chris's stone, he was being asked to kind of draw in or maybe do a little tap on that one in the 8-foot. He's going to tap that 8-foot over, making it, okay, so splitting. So now Dobbs is sitting 3. And one of them is actually behind Rick's Yellowstone that was just put there. Now, if Rick does make the straight, if Rick does get Amanda to do the straight nose hit, that will be maybe not. That may be shot at the end of the stone. We'll see.
Yeah, it would need to get a little slight roll back to center, I think, to be shot. But
Sweepers are on it. Stone needs to come back a little bit. It's starting to come. I think he's got to kick the yellow through the hole.
Oh.
Chipped it a little bit. That actually is pretty much a disaster, because that puts Dobbs in with 3, and the
2 of them are under.
2 are now
all 3 are kind of
undercover.
The
over
one in
here
the
on the
center
right
is
side.
maybe half exposed on the outside. The 2 on the right are under the yellow one.
Yeah. So that was about the worst result that you could possibly.
I thought
there.
almost that they were going to be wide enough on that to knock that yellow across the top and into the top red stone, but they kind of got stuck in between. They weren't wide enough to go to plan B, but they were too tight for plan A.
All right, J.R. Gross being asked to, I believe he's being asked to just put something up that kind of defends the situation, because, I mean, Dobbs would be perfectly happy with stealing 3 right now. This is going to tap that yellow, which makes it so it's not really usable for a promote, so I can see the logic there.
And it rolls over and guards.
And it doesn't
really guard. On the camera angle, it looks like it's kind of guarding the shot stone.
It's guarding the inner half,
really,
but it's not guarding everything. Okay, and Dr. Rick's Dr. Rick's prescribing a peel,
Yeah,
as though he were a dermatologist,
He said
not
6 is
a
okay,
obstetrician. But oh well.
but 6 isn't going to overcurl to completely buried if 4 is covering that
Craig
hole.
Weisgerber's stone is on the way. Feels a little light for a peel, in my opinion. And is in danger of nosing. Pretty much does nose, which chips out one of the reds, but it just puts the other red over on the other side of the house behind even better cover. So
not any better cover and even significantly closer to the button than it was.
yeah, Dobbs is sitting 2, maybe 3, already up 1 here in the 7th. Dr. Rick needs to find a way to change the momentum of this game's stat, or it could get out of control in a hurry. And I need this game to continue because I got 75 more Dr. punts to play with.
Normal.
I only hope that someone in the 10 o'clock draw has as interesting an occupation.
Yeah, really. I know, right? All right, JR being asked to hit one of those yellows. He's being asked to hit the outside one, but he chips off the inside one, which taps up okay. Michael's saying that's fine. I'm not sure if that's just encouragement or if that he actually is okay with it.
I know I personally would have preferred hitting the outside one because the inside one was kind of covering your own stone.
Yeah.
There's a 3-second.
I honestly don't think that was the plan.
No, that definitely was plan B if it was in the playbook. at
No,
all.
that was plan Q, and we'll see what Craig Weisgerber can do with that. I
I
believe
kind
Risk
of
is-
agree that it didn't really hurt yellow or red in any way there.
Yeah.
Just didn't help.
Yeah, I believe Rick is asking to draw kind of like to a kind of a freeze kind of position or get to the button behind the cover. This is heavy for that task. It's just going to flash through the house. Might stick around at the 12-foot. It is sticking around at the 12-foot, but the action's in the 8-foot right now, so a shot at the stone in the back 12-foot doesn't do much good at all at the moment.
No, for those of you who are counting, though, it looks to be 5th shot.
Sure.
They only got normalized onto Dobbs.
Red with the first 3, yellow with 4, 5, and 6.
Because he's like, that was control down. I'm like, nope, that was definitely normal. Unless you're looking for normals to be peels, which is what Jared's been throwing today.
Okay, so Dobbs is planning on throwing a guard, I believe.
I think he's hitting the outside yellow again. Or trying
Really?
to hit it again.
Just quick, if you get too far, if you get
Should
too
I ask
wide,
why?
it'll slow down a lot, but it's the same draw you threw at the end of the game.
Oh, no,
Last
it's a
end.
draw.
Yeah. Yeah, hitting the outside yellow would make like practically no sense unless he was using it for in-off, which I guess would be an option. But
I mean, I could see just hitting and rolling off of it as just a way to take it away from Rick, who might
Right.
try to use it to get to the button.
Like
but-
to go a bit.
But this is a pure draw. Sweepers are on it because at the moment it looks like it's short. It's deep enough to be 4th shot, so there you go.
It's 4th shot. It cuts off the line to the button.
Well,
Kind
not
of.
really.
It closes the, it narrows the port.
Narrows
I
the
guess.
port, I'll give you that. Definitely give you that. All right, so what are we doing? We are, Rick is,
The quad is not there.
no. Is the quad ever there? I don't know what Rick is doing with this line. Is he drawing?
I would guess it's a draw, just by
Draw
lack
to
of
the-
other options. But
Draw to the freeze to the inside of the shot stone, I guess?
I think I would want more ice for that, but that's a good call, and this is a reasonable guess as to the line for that shot.
That's the assumption I'm going with until I see the stone come out of the hack and it's way heavier or something. I mean, it could be a hit, but those wouldn't be the stones I would hit if I was hitting, so... No, it appears he ordered up 50 cc's of draw weight, and let's see what happens here. Sweepers are both on it pretty hard, but it needs to curl some if it wants to hit that hole. It's starting to move, but I don't know if it's going to move enough in time. The sweepers are off of it. They're convinced they got the weight. Is it going to get past that stone? It does not. It just taps it up, and it actually doesn't cut Dobbs out of anything. Dobbs is still laying 4.
That's what it looks like on the overhead.
So Dobbs is now kind of sitting here doing, okay, what do I do to not screw this up? He wants to try to defend as much as he doesn't need to. I mean, a steal of 4 puts the game away, basically.
Yeah, he doesn't need to defend all 4 of these stones, but he's effectively won the end by just having 4 in there right now.
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, the force is on.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, if anything, Rick's trying to figure out how to make 1 out of this mess.
Yeah. And at the moment, I can see some basically, or not even some, I see 1 sort of angle raise.
Yeah, I see a very viable angle raise.
The yellow stone that's in the top 8 can be raised to the button.
Okay, Dobbs is coming down, and JR is explaining the parameters of the guard. They are going to sing the symphony in G, where G stands for guard. All right, we have a shake on A. I don't know what happened in the 6th, but I'm going to bet that odds are that Nick Doe did not draw an 8. So that probably tells me that Hefner has moved on to be a finalist at noon tomorrow against the winner of the game on C, which just completed the 6th end. I don't know what happened. Dobbs's draw has coming to a rest. It's guarding the angle raise one, the one that we were talking about angle raising. Or the one that I was thinking would be angle raised. So that's a very viable shot.
Playing blanks and things.
So if you're Dr. Rick, and I'm assuming you can't call in a specialist for a consultation on this shot. So what's he got?
I'm not sure because my camera has quit on me here. There we go. Is that? Or, yeah, no, it's actually stuck. I was like, or has Rick actually just not moved in a minute or so?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. That's a live feed of the house. And
I don't see a viable opportunity for him here. About the most that I see is maybe tap the stone that Dobbs just threw into Rick's yellow, just delicate enough. Maybe he gets lucky and it goes to the button to take 1, or at the very least it sits in the 4-foot to cut Dobbs to 1.
I was asking him how often
that's an option. And given that broom, that kind of appears, unless he thinks he can just draw to Dobbs's stone. Wow, that would be a delicate hole.
I heard somebody was like, oh, this place is so dirty.
I do know this. Whatever he throws, he's going to have to do it with surgical precision.
This is what happens when you get a bunch of people. And not
or else
just
Dobbs is going to sew up the game.
Club level people, right? Like if this was like a pro Bonspiel.
Speaking of Dobbs and sewing, the entire War Room's attention was momentarily on Michael Dobbs, sitting on the back bench there, because he's put on a hat, and apparently it's an interesting hat, and people are excited to see it.
I guess that means he won Courtney's. That was the hat that Courtney Shaw made for the raffle. I'm assuming that means he won that.
Yes.
I admit it's an assumption, but it's one I'm comfortable with.
There was a whole lot of context that I was just not aware of, and I was just get past a note that just said Dobbs hat and was like, why do I care?
So Rick actually has given Dobbs a mystery bonus 5th point. So yeah, that's 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's a big number.
I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Dobbs is pretty sure. They're kicking stones in the house.
And he has to count on his hand.
In fact head. A 5 was in fact hung. That puts Dobbs up 9-3 in the 8th end. He doesn't have hammer,
One's an intern.
No, so it actually.
but there's a
it's-
power in being up by 6.
It is.
Intern hat.
I mean, Rick can easily try to put together a 7 here.
Easily.
I mean, he could probably put 7 rocks on the button the
Oh,
way if
yeah,
he
okay.
plays like he did in the first end.
Yeah, good point. Oh, and by the way, we have an update on Sheet C, the other A event semifinal. It's a barn burner, as the Kempenick rink that does not have a Shah took a 2 to tie up the Shah rink that has a Kempenick at 3 after 6. So they have also finally reached the point where they have scored as many points as they have played ends.
Nice.
Nope. You are at least 6. Probably 8.
So Dobbs plays to the back of the house. I'm not sure why he even did that. I would have thrown this thing to I-95 personally.
Yeah, I think the call was to try to be top 8, top 4.
I don't even know why you would have done that.
And once it was heavy, I
really
think
wanna
he
do this
the maybe the sweepers didn't realize that it was back tee to try to just sweep it through.
I don't even know that I would have. I think my call would have been, I mean, you're up 6. So Dr. Rick's game is in danger of flatlining here. All he can do is hope for some medical miracles, or curling miracles, I guess. And step 1 is use guards. So that's what he's got. He's got a tight 3 guard.
Would you say that the game is currently on life support?
I would say that the game is on life support. Dobbs is just looking to draw another one into the house because, hey, why not?
Because he's not allowed to start hitting yet.
That's true. He can't hit yet. That is true. And this one will be a T-line draw at the 4-foot. Okay, just behind the T-line. And unfortunately, that does reduce Rick's scoring area to his area, which is actually smaller than he can fit 7 stones in. So
That's true. I think he might have to make this double
Yeah,
at some point.
and it looks like he's actually thinking about it right now. Although it's kind of soft for the double.
I mean, a hit and roll on the top one is good enough.
Yeah. Actually, it's probably preferable because he kind of needs to leave that wall to protect some stones. But he does, in fact, double.
He does, in fact, make the double.
Out, but that actually hurts his case because that
now
actually
he
means
has
there's
no
protection.
backing, which makes it very hard to
And
get a
Dobbs
7.
is saying, oh, yeah, let's hit this. And, oh, by the way, you're the one with the terrible puns. Melinda said so.
I thought the life support one was pretty good compared to some of the other ones that have been thrown out there. But
Yeah, well, you know. Thank you, Melinda. Your check's in the mail. Okay. Chris. Okay, well, then that might explain it.
I was going to say, I was thoroughly confused at this. I was like, I'm seeing a name on the chat, and I'm seeing a person next to me, and I'm pretty sure they're the same person.
So Dobbs makes the hit.
That has been
by the
confirmed
way.
that it is, in fact, that someone is account hijacking. And so whoever is in the chat as, I'm doing air quotes, Melinda Carlson, that person, the cyber authorities are on the trail right now for violating the terms of service
Or
of
she's
our web
using
stream.
her phone.
No, she's not. I looked over at that a couple of times. I'm like, is she chatting from her phone? She's not.
All right, so Dr. Rick reaching for, I don't know what he's reaching for. Unfortunately, I think this is going to hit and spin out of the house. I am wrong. It's hanging on. So the game is not over. It is over, but it's not over. It's not over.
It's not over until one more yellow rock is out of play. Actually,
2 more, technically.
yeah, 6 would still allow the tie.
Boy, I'm going to go out on a limb and bet it's Melinda's husband,
Oh, yeah,
who has just outed himself. by
well,
the way.
Melinda outed him, basically. But
So Chris attempting to hit that yellow stone, which is in the house. And that is going to occur. No, it's not. It's
no,
a flash.
That's a flash.
All right, that there might be a pulse. It's very weak. It's very weak, and we still need some serious CPR here. But you know, it's possible. Amanda Weisgerber, at the very least, getting to throw her second stone. So you know there is that. But boy, is this light. This is very light. Now, I mean, it's got to be close enough to the house that it's still usable. You can chip in. You can. There's
Yeah,
things that
the
can
fact
be
that
played
those
with
two
that.
are as tight as they are means they're both.
But there's a concession.
Yeah.
So time of death of game, 9:54 p.m. That does wrap it up. Michael Dobbs advances to the D event semifinals at 9 events. I'm sorry, C event semifinals at 9 a.m. tomorrow. No, I'm sorry. No, actually, it is the C event final at noon tomorrow.
Is it?
According to my notes,
I'm pretty sure that there's another C event draw at 9.
I have this marked as a D semi. I don't know. They moved to whatever they moved to. They moved to a game tomorrow. It might be at 9. It might be at noon.
I've got the draw here.
Against whoever wins on D.
No, the winners of. Oh no, that was the 5:45 draw. The 8th draw.
That's the D you're looking at.
That is the D event. So they're going to play a D event semifinal tomorrow at 9. So
Okay.
you were right. It's the D event. I was right that there's a game tomorrow at 9.
Okay.
And together we
So-
have solved the mystery of where they're playing next.
But we don't know who they're playing up against next. Actually, we might.
I think it would be the winner of the game.
No,
no,
it
we don't.
would
It'll
be
be
the
the
loser.
loser of.
It's either Nico, who lost on sheet A, or it'll be the loser of Kempenik Shaw, which is very much in question on sheet C. Speaking of which, let's get over there and look at sheet C, because that's the game with the most liveness
Yes.
and all of that sort of thing. So we're gonna bring you the last end and several rocks of the A semifinal. Peel and replace Melvin Shaw, Courtney Shaw, Brian Darnham, Gilad Kempenik versus Venison Sticks, Gabe Kempenik, yes, they are related, Stephanie Erstad, Jeremy Vandeluten, and Kathleen Crosslick. Current game situation is we are in the 7th end. It is tied at 3, and I am trying to figure out how to get that on there. Can I push one of those buttons?
Yes.
I can. Awesome. All right, so we have a redstone, which is Kempenik, just touching the button. There are 2 yellows in the forefoot. So who is that thrower? Was that Stephanie throwing? Yeah, Stephanie Erstad just threw was presumably her second stone of the end. It is a guard on the center. So that's where that stands. Good game, Mr. Dobbs. Coming in and turning in the headset or microphone or whatever. So Melvin is asking Courtney to do some damage. Wants to move some stones. And the entire team is coming to take a look. So while we have a moment, for those of you
I
that
believe they've called the timeout.
Yes, exactly. The coach is coming on the ice. For those of you who may have joined us late, this is our last Bonspiel of the season. Aww. The ice melts on April 15th.
If it doesn't melt today, with it being 80 degrees outside.
Yeah, okay. But there will be another season starting in October. Isn't that cool? And we're going to lead off the season with the first ever, as far as we know, LGBTQ and Friends Friendly Bonspiel held in the United States. Columbus Day weekend, October 6th through 8th. The first draw is on Friday, October 6th. A 16-team open Bonspiel. If you're a single, you can sign up. We'll match you with a team. It'll be awesome. Registration will be beginning on June 1st, and you can check out the website, www.curldc.org, for more information.
Just about that, the whole LGBT Bonspiel, it's a huge concept in Canada. There's a sort of almost like a tour of sorts at all the major cities.
Oh, wow.
Vancouver,
I
Toronto.
did not know this.
but we are pretty sure that we have not seen one of these in the United States.
I
And it's
certainly haven't heard of one.
Pretty exciting to get to be the first if we are, in fact,
Exactly.
the first.
And even if they're not, it's certainly the first one in D.C. We know because we're the
Yeah.
only club in D.C.
Right.
So, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to bet names that insult the current presidential administration are not only encouraged but expected.
Oh, I even suggested the other night after Capital League that it would be only right to cordially invite our sitting vice president, because I'm told that he would be a huge fan of both curling and LGBT.
Oh, that'd be
individuals.
marvelous.
Yeah.
We need to make this thing happen. Okay, enough politics. Also discussing on November 9 to 12, the Embassy Row Bonspiel. It's the 4th annual Embassy Row Bonspiel, possibly
yes,
5th.
we had Italy, Germany, and South Korea.
So now
so
the
this will be
4th.
the 4th.
We're going to Havana this year. We're going to Cuba. We're going to party in Old Havana. Around the World Adventure, continuing the food and music of Cuba, November 9 through 12, 2017. Registration for that bad boy opens up on August 9th, 2017. Fee of $360 per team. This one you do need to register as a team. 32 teams will be expected. We expect it to sell out, so get in early. Meanwhile, a guard was hit. There are still 3 stones. There's still 3 stones in the 4-foot. The triad is exposed. 2 yellows and a red. Apparently, we're being told that we would prefer it if he refused the invitation.
Well, I mean, I think the assumption would be that he would when we issue it.
Yeah,
We-
honestly.
We don't actually want him here. We just think it would be funny to make him think about it.
He would, yeah. Well, now, do we really want to attract the attention?
From what I've heard, attention will be attracted. It's going to be that kind of bonspiel.
Oh, is it now? I actually haven't heard all of the plans, and actually, as I understand, they're still kind of in the planning phase. The Bonspiel doesn't even actually have an official name yet. That's up for debate. If you have any great suggestions, please feel free to send them to Courtney Shaw.
It doesn't? I thought we announced a name.
Nope, not on this at least. Not on my notes.
So the name we've been announcing was that it was going to be the Big Gay American Bonspiel.
Yeah, I think that actually has gotten kiboshed.
Oh,
I
that's...
think. I reserve the right to be completely and utterly incorrect.
I wouldn't... I mean... I have heard that a few people did object to it, but there's still plenty of time.
Meanwhile, Stephanie Erstad's throwing her second stone. Gabe asked for a... I don't know what he asked for. I know what he's getting, which is going to be a stone on the top 8. Not
Top 12.
really, yeah, you're right. Top 12 not really helping the situation that I can detect. I don't think that was what he asked for. That's the only thing I can think of is that must have been not what was asked for, because that I don't see the purpose in that stone. Other than possibly allowing for if something huge gets hit that blows up everything, that's the only stone left in the house and it's shot. There is that. But I don't actually think the physics is there for a shot that blows everything up.
Yeah, I mean, my guess was it was probably a called guard, and it just overcurled and came a little deep. Like if it was guarding the top corner of the yellow there, that would prevent the yellow smash here.
Could be. And,
But-
oh, hey, by the way, we also have a 6th end score on sheet D. The Burkett Ring took 1 to go up 6-4 over Finley. That game currently in the 7th. That's for the right to continue on in the D. In the other quarter, moving to the other semi.
Julie suggests that Come As You Are Bonspiel, which is a great name. We'll put that one in the hat with all the other suggestions.
Which one?
The Come As You Are Bonspiel.
Come As You Are Bonspiel. That's not bad. I like it. So that was nice. That chipped out the red, did not damage the yellows. There are, and actually the shooter actually hung around over in the edge of the 12-foot just behind the tee, too.
Yes,
So
at the moment, it's
at
2
the
yellow.
moment, 2 yellow. Yellow is Shaw, by the way, for those of you who haven't figured it out yet, because I wasn't sure myself. I had to look. However, it is not behind any sort, shape, or kind of cover. So it appears that Gabe Kempenik is going to plan on taking out the trash. Judging from the line and the fact that I happen to know that there's never been a hit that he's refused. So these games are running a little bit long on C and D, which means that the final draw of the evening will probably be starting a lot closer to 10:30 than the 10:15 expected start time. But that's okay, because that just means it's really more likely that 4 more teams could say, hey, we played on Sunday at the Cherry Blossom.
Yeah, either that or they'll maybe just move them to sheets A and B, because it's the
There's
B.
only 2?
It's the B event semifinals, and their final is going to be on sheet C. So having them play the semis on A and B would not really be
Are
a
there
problem.
only 2 games in the
There
draw?
are only 2 games.
Okay, well, then there is room. Okay. And he got part of the hit, but he just tapped the other one into the 4-foot. So that's a problem. Shaw, or Kempenik is sitting the 1. Shaw has the 2nd and 3rd. And it looks to me as though Courtney is laying a broom to attempt to do the hit to be sitting 2. And this is the part when I ask Melinda if she can do us a favor. Can you go get the names of the players in the game that's going to be on B in the next draw? I'll even give you a sheet of paper so you don't have to use a napkin. Oh, is that them? Oh, never mind. If that's them, I got it. Thank you. Melvin Shaw's stone is on the way. As I said, Courtney was asking him to just kind of take out that red. And he did so. Rolled under. A very effective shot. He's lying 2. And Kempenik is taking a long, hard look at what he's going to do here. What's it look like he's got? Oh, he's even considering another option. Then the only other question is who's going to be playing the other game in that draw.
The draw should be updated online. It wasn't earlier when I was trying to plan all this in advance, but.
All right, so Gabe is in the hack, looking at his shot.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
100% sure what he's got in mind.
Probably have a better view of it, but it's Team Wright from Triangle and Team Roberts from Pittsburgh.
I guess I'm not sure what Gabe is throwing here. I'm going to be honest. Possibly a raise hit? Or was that just the line? Bam, bam, bam. 3 go bye-bye, but not all 4.
Almost, Gabe.
So Shaw is sitting 1 with the hammer here in the 7th. Is this the hammer? This is the hammer. So Shaw is got a shot for 2. Actually, what Shaw's going to try to do is he's going to try to take that stone in the top 12 out and get 3. That's what Courtney's calling. That's what he's going to try to do, and that would put him in a strong position in this game. Stone is on its way, sweeping it hard. They're looking to chip and not roll out. They flash on their own. They still get a 1 though. So Melvin misses his hit. He only takes the 1. He gives up the hammer. Gives Gabe Kempenik a little bit of an advantage there. He's coming home. He's 1 down. Score is 4-3. Shaw over Kempenik at the moment. All right, so Melvin starting off the final end here, looking for a center guard from his lead Galad Kempenik. And that has drawn into the back 8. I'm a little surprised they're not actually out doing the ice prep to get the other games on the sheets.
Yeah, I'm.
Kathleen Koslick getting her first, or her second stone, her first stone of this 10th end, 8th end. Wow, 10th end, really? Underway.
Feels like we've played 10 ends.
Does, doesn't it? Sheet D waiting on a, I have a 7th end score on Sheet D. Yellow got 1, what does that mean? Finley got 1, so they are down 6-5 after 7. They're working their way through the 8th. Finley is trailing Burkett. Burkett has hammer in that 8th end. Galad Kempenik throwing his final stone of this 8th end. Sweepers get on it fast. Kind of looks like Melvin's coming out to help. He is coming out to help. Fighting for every inch. It's going to get over the hog, but I don't think it's going to get as far over as they want it to. Actually, a little bit of a fall at the end, and it does kind of get, it's most of a guard. It's not 100% of a guard, but it's pretty decent guard. And Kempenik can't do the hit on it yet because it's still free guard zone time. So he's asking Koslick to draw behind his corner guard, I believe. Shot's on the way. The sweepers are on it hard. It feels like it's a little light, and I think it's just going to tap the guard. Yes, it is. It's going to tap the guard. A little bit of space between, not much. Okay, so now Melvin is looking to take out the center of those two guards, and he would like to roll to be a guard himself on the outside against the stone that he's got just in the back 8. That's the plan. We'll see what happens. Jeremy Vanderhooten, the second for the Venison Sticks, skipped by Gabe Kepnick. Stone is on its way. They're keeping it clean. Actually, this is just a draw. This wasn't the little hit and roll that I was thinking about. It's just a draw. It's past the guards, and it's drawing in to pretty much exactly what it asked for. Top 8, behind the cover. Nice stone. Jeremy Vanderhooten looking like he just stepped onto the ice from a night out clubbing. Yeah, in the long sleeve shirt and the whole 9 yards there. Asked to do a hit to remove as much of this as possible, at the very least peel, if not reduce some raise action. He's got the peel. It doesn't quite make contact with any of the other stones. But the guard is gone, which means I assume Melvin's going to plan on putting it back. Well, you're very welcome, Julie. That's why we do this. It's one of the nice things that we have here. A few years ago, we were able to have a bunch of our members were able to chip in and give us the capability to bring this to the folks who can't be here at the club live. And we're very happy to do it. And we will be back. There is another draw tonight, about 10 minutes after this one's over, I guess, seeing as how it appears that these games are being allowed to run to conclusion. We'll be back with the final draw of the night, which is B event semifinals. Only 2 games, though. Only 2 games. So...
No, Nick, there are 2 draws. Did you know that you didn't know that we had like a 1:30 a.m. draw? We don't have a 1:30 a.m. draw. You're fine. Never mind.
I've played in a Bonspiel, the 1:30 a.m. draw once.
I played in a Bonspiel that had like a 10 p.m. draw that turned into like an 11:30 p.m. draw. So we were playing at like 1 in the morning.
Back in 1994, when grass was green and the free rock zone was still being figured out, the free guard zone was still being figured out, I was a member of a 2-sheet club in Omaha, Nebraska that hosted a 32-team spiel. Do the math.
I mean, that sounds like the Bonspiel, basically. A very popular event at Plainfield.
Right.
I don't think they actually allow 32 teams
but
in. But
yeah, see, this allowed 32 teams, and another rock bites the dust. So now Shaw is only sitting 1 in the back of the 8. So Melvin is asking Courtney to throw up the guard, which makes perfect sense because the shot stone in the back 8 is well guarded from the outside. So the only question is guarding from the inside, because the steal 1 is perfectly fine in his book. Because he's up 1.
yeah, I was gonna say Shaw is already up 1.
Yeah, they haven't hung the 7th end score, but Shaw got 1 in the last end, so they're up 1.
Yes,
correct?
that was my recollection.
That's my recollection as well. This looks kind of light and it looks kind of tight. I think it's going to over curl. am correct. It is over curling. It is making the hit line a little. Actually, it got a very favorable bounce off that guard. Off that guard. So that locked it down. It wasn't locked down right up until it got the bounce, but so Gabe, not Galad, is asking his vice, Stephanie Erstad, to get rid of a couple. And she's very definitely going to hit at least one of these. There's 3 stones up there. Something's going. Question is what?
Yeah, the target is fairly wide.
Yeah.
And if she hits any part of it, she improves the situation somewhat.
Exactly. So the game on D is coming down to the nitty-gritty if we want to shift over there for the last couple stones.
I mean, really, when we're covering the house, we can pretty much see both houses
That's
in
true.
their entirety.
So for those of you on Sheet D, interested in the Sheet D game, which is probably everybody, that's Finley versus Burkett. Burkett's in red, Finley's in yellow. Red is ahead by 1 in the 8th end, and they also have the hammer. And they've got 3 stones in the house. Finley is throwing, this is her last stone in the way right now, so she has to draw this. If this isn't shot at the end of this game is over. She is shot, but it ticked off, so it's pretty open.
There is a guard over on that side, but
yeah,
it's
but
not.
I don't think
The guard's
she went
pretty
far
wide. Yeah.
enough. So Burkett, I'm sorry, I don't know what his first name is. I only really know his last name because it's on his jacket. Has what looks to be a pretty wide open nose hit to win that game. We'll update you as soon as that stone has been thrown.
Stephanie Erstad's last shot on C did remove both yellow guards, but because of the way it made that sort of double peel, it ended up sitting in that position, and so it kind of still guarded the shot stone. And then yellow's next shot was to also continue to guard shot
Continue
stone.
to guard, absolutely. There's no reason to not just keep doing that. Okay, they have finally officially hung the 7th end score, so we got that going for us. Because, Melvin's perfectly okay with a blank here.
Yeah, Melvin is, blank to win here.
Yeah. He just needs to make sure that he just wants to make Gabe's hammer shot as difficult as possible. He's doing a pretty darn good job of it at the moment, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, Melvin's path to victory here is essentially leave the force on and then make it so that shot for 1 is very difficult.
And update on Sheet D, the hit was successful, so we have a game over. The Burkett rink moves on to the D semis tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Over the Don Finley rink by a final score, because they got 4, so that makes the final score 10-5, we believe.
Somewhere thereabouts.
Somewhere
yeah.
thereabouts, at least 10-5, possibly 11. So all we have left is this game on C, which has 4 stones to go. No, 5 stones to go, I'm sorry. As Stephanie Erstad is throwing her last vice stone. And she's again being asked to get rid of the guard. It's not really a guard. It's a scoring stone in the top 12 foot, but its primary existence is to serve as a guard against the shot stone in the back 8. She's coming through. She's past the guards. And, okay, that's a much better chip as her stone rolls away. And that actually could be useful later.
It rolls into the house and undercover. So
it's
in a position where it can be a game-tying or winning stone.
Yeah, because Melvin now has to be careful because that gives Gabe the possibility of getting 2.
Yeah.
We are down to the final 4 rocks. So this game will be over in, well, not necessarily. This 8th end will be over in about 5 minutes. Okay, they are starting to prep Sheet B. I don't know if they're going to prep Sheet A after that or if they're waiting for C.
They were scheduled to use D. because these are the B event semis and their final's going to be on C.
Okay.
So the plan was to play on B and D.
Okay, which they can clean both B and D now
They
because
could,
D is available.
Or honestly, they could just use A and B. They're next to each other, and it's easy
That's
to
true.
do.
But they're sweeping up D as though they're getting ready to use it to prep it. So,
But one way or another, after this game, we do have 2 more games to bring you, and we will bring them to you whenever they happen.
right. Now, we're not staying live on this stream. We're shutting the stream down and starting up the fresh one, or are we just going to stay here?
I would say, I don't know, actually.
It's your call. You're running the computer.
It's rather unusual that we have 2 different draws actually going on simultaneously. I guess we could shut this down and then just fire it right back up as the next draw, and then continue to just update the score of this game, basically.
Makes sense. Well, I don't think the other games are going. The other games aren't going to get on before this is over.
Well, then in that
probably.
case, then we'll shut the stream down and start it up because it'll be a new draw.
Now, that guard by Melvin actually is not perfect. The line is there for Gabe.
Yeah, I mean,
it's tight.
The guard, I mean, it's covering because they're on the same side of the center line there, but it's high.
Yeah.
So for a draw down, it's not a big problem.
Which is what they're calling, and you know he probably wouldn't even mind a hard freeze to it's good. A tap back is also. I mean, if he taps it back.
Yeah, the hard
the
freeze
3
might
feet
be
to put
better now just because he's got another rock.
True.
He doesn't have to try to get his 2 right now.
True. Very true.
Because if he removes his backing, Melvin can remove that stone for the win, essentially. Or no, it would just be potentially to force the tie.
Yeah, force the tie. Or force the shot for a tie, at least.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Gabe does here. Stone's on the way. It feels inside to me, and the sweeper's got right on it, too. It's diving. It's diving. He is on the guard. He looks at it with his face, look of disgust. As, he chips, taps the guard walls. Actually, he's kind of closed. He's kind of closed his draw line. Even that's, that might be a fatal. That might be a fatality.
Yeah, and the doctor's not on the ice anymore.
Exactly. He's probably available in the warm room, though. Nice callback. And there's not even a promote because currently all of the promotes are blocked, with the possible exception of there's an angle raise way. Oh, that's Melvin Stone anyhow. Never mind. All the red stones are actually the shots that Gabe wants to use, isn't it? So actually, he's got lots of options for a promote. It's a question of which one does he want to play.
Yeah, I like the angle one there, the one sort of just off of the logo of Visionist, one of our sponsors. And that one would be a really nice angle raise down to the shot rock to sit 2. The center guards are also raisable, but they're also a lot longer.
It looks like Melvin might be thinking about nosing that red through the house, so therefore it's not available to use that way. But that runs the risk if he's off just a little bit. He could raise it onto his own, and that would give
I think you'd almost rather just sit on top of it somewhere.
That's
got to
be. That's got to be. Well, not with that line.
No, that looks like takeout ice.
That's gutsy. That is a gutsy shot. No, of course not. I'll let the puns die. Heck no. You think that's bad? Come back at 10:30. Stone is on the way, and that is definitely a hit weight. Sweepers are on it immediately. I don't know what this is going to do. It chaps that and that and that, and
it's still 1 yellow.
Is it?
It's
okay,
moved to the other side of the house. I think still kind of undercover. I don't really have the angle.
So, yeah, okay. It's in, I know Courtney certainly doesn't look happy. Melvin looks like he's in a little bit of shock, so I don't think that was not the result they had in mind.
No,
I mean,
that. On the plus side, when Melvin was a little wide trying to take out the red, he only hit a bunch of yellow stones. So he hit a yellow guard, ran it into the house. That's all fine and dandy. He took out the shot stone with it. That's not so good. But then what became the shooter, the original guard, stayed in. So all in all, the game situation, still 1 yellow.
Right, and we are down to the last stone. So Gabe is taking a look He's got a couple options here. There might be a draw line with backing to take one and put this game in a ninth. Or, for those of you who like to live a little bit more dangerously, he's got a raise option where if he raised his onto the current shot stone, he could take the 2 and win it. It's an option.
It looks like it's draw ice.
That's definitely draw ice. That's not ice for the raise hit option.
Yeah, and I'm not thinking of any situation where you can draw to it heavy enough to push it into the 12-foot.
Not with any realistic thing.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's just going for a pure draw here, and basically he doesn't actually need to touch the 4-foot. He can be about 2 inches outside the 4-foot, and that gets the job done. The really treacherous part about this is there is a minefield of his own stones between him and where he needs to go. I suppose it's possible that he could raise one of his stones in, but the angles are not really good for that, particularly not when he's throwing draw weight. All right, sweepers are on this hard. Question is, can they get past that first guard? Okay, they took the sweepers off of it.
There's a raise.
And too much. Melvin Shaw steals 1 and books his place in the final, winning that game 5-3. So congratulations to Melvin, Courtney, Brian Dahmer, Hammond, Gilad, Kempenik. There will be a Kempenik in the final, at least. It's just not Gabe.
It's not Team Kempenik.
It's not Team Kempenik. Gabe, Kempenik, Stephanie Erstad, Jeremy Vanderhooten, and Kathleen Kozlik will move now, excuse me, to the D semi at 9 a.m. Tomorrow.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes. Where they play somebody else. I don't know. One of the teams who won earlier.
The draw's on the website if you care, go look.
Exactly. So, we're going to wrap this up here real fast, then we'll be back in probably not very many minutes for Potomac After Dark, what was supposed to be the 10:30 draw. It's going to be more like 10:40.
It was supposed to be the 10:15 draw.
10:15 draw. It's going to be more like 10:40.
Yeah.
Where we'll be bringing you the final thing. So, until about 5 minutes from now, this is Alan McNeil for Michael Sells, signing off. See you in a couple minutes.